Good morning. Am I audible? Those who enabled the video, can you raise your hand? Thank you. So, we were discussing the preamble. Okay. So, we have done with the nature of Indian polity. Nature of Indian polity is sovereignty, socialism, secularism, democracy, and republic. Republic, we saw that the head of the state will not be based on hereditary or bloodline. And we also saw that the public office is open to all. Today we are going to see the objectives of the state or objectives of India. What are the objectives? Okay. So for our easiness, I'm starting with equality. Okay. So there will be liberty, equality. Then I'll be talking about liberty, justice, unity and integrity, dignity of the individual. Okay, so these are the 5 goals, the objectives of the country. Okay, to maintain equality, liberty, justice, unity and integrity, dignity. Okay. So equality. Already when we were discussing socialism, we have discussed that when we exactly mean equality, it is not equality, it is equity. Okay, that is, people will be given benefits according to their need. And you must know the difference between equality of opportunity, equality of outcome. Okay, equality of opportunity and equality of outcome. Many a time when we understand equality, okay, generally when some people, some politician or some activist, it's talking about equality, we tend to understand equality means perfect equality, equality of outcome, that everybody should be given equal. Okay, but that is not viable. Okay, supposing if there are 2 sets of people, person A and person B, okay, both of them having same qualification, education qualification, same qualities, assume that they have same kind of skill sets, okay, ability, everything, and experience also is same, but provided A is working for 10 hours, B is working for 5 hours, if I'm going to give both A and B equal amount of salary, okay, say for example at the end of the day, after A and B is working, I'm giving 1000 rupees each. Okay, 1000 rupees each is given. Is it appropriate? It is right? No, not at all. Okay, this scenario is what I call it as equality of outcome, wherein irrespective of the contribution of the individual, irrespective of the effort of the individual, ability of the individual, you are giving a same outcome, output. Okay, supposing no, it's like all of us are writing civil service examination. Okay, equality of outcome means giving everyone IAS. Is it possible? It is good? No. Okay, that will cut down the progress of the society, because in this case itself, you see, B has no incentive to increase his working hours. At the same time, A also, the next day he knows that he will anyway get 1,000 rupees, so he'll work only for 5 hours. Okay, so there is no incentive for hard work, extra effort put. Okay, so there must be some kind of inequality in society in order to have progress in the society, in order to incentivize the best brains to contribute to the society. Very important. Okay, see, most of your friends while joining job, okay, you have preferred to come for civil service preparation. That is because, after clearing this examination, you are going to get the social privilege, social prestige. Okay, so people around you will respect you, and your family will get a higher status automatically. Okay, overnight, you will become the star in your town. Okay, so everybody will claim, not only your district, even your neighboring district, people will say that, this particular IAS officer who was cleared is my relative, or he is from my own place. Okay, but if you see, actually, the person will be a nearby neighboring district person. Okay, why? That is because, okay, IAS has been given a good privilege so that it attracts all the best brains to try for Indian administrative service. Just imagine you are removing all the perks, privileges, benefits from the Indian administrative service, and you are saying that you will be getting a salary equal to a group 2 officer. Nobody is going to put this much effort to prepare for the examination and serve the country. Okay, so if a society has to progress, you have to get the services of the best brains. If the services of the best brains should be there, they have to be treated in a different manner. Okay, they have to be given extra reward. Okay, so we are not talking about equality of outcome in Indian constitution, we are talking about equality of opportunity, meaning everybody cannot become IAS. According to the ranking only, IAS will be given to you. But when the examination is conducted, the UPSC will ensure that everybody writes the examination irrespective of their caste, gender, religion, etc. If you see the final list, no, you will be seeing candidates across the country, men, women, rich people, poor people, okay, sons and daughters of politicians, bureaucrats, celebrities, okay, and very a farmer's son, okay, driver's son, auto rickshaw wala's son. Yes, I'll do that. Okay, Shobra, I have read your comment. I'll come to your topic later. After completing equality, I'll talk about the difference between socialism and communalism. Okay, now. Okay, so everybody will be given an opportunity to take up the civil service examination, okay, in order to become an IAS. So equality of opportunity is all will be given equal opportunity to become unequals. Very important, no doubt. Okay, equality is, it's not that all will be treated equally. If perfect equality, society will not work. Human nature, they will not be okay with perfect equality. It is very ideal to achieve perfect equality. So what can be done is, equality can be given at the level of opportunity in order to get unequal position in the society. So whether you become a prime minister, whether you become a president, whether you become an entrepreneur, doctor or an engineer, a scientist or a teacher, depends upon your effort. Okay, so equal opportunity to become unequals. So the level playing should be equal. Okay, so that is what our constitution talks about, equality of opportunity and status. Equality of opportunity and status, meaning the entry level, for example, corona times, why UPSC has to postpone the UPSC prelims examination? Okay, there are some states where corona is not at all there. Okay, there are some districts where 0 cases, but there are districts where the cases are in thousands. Now, if they are going to conduct the examination, those people who are in the affected districts cannot take up the examination. So that is why they are postponing. So whenever they are considering, they'll consider for everyone, even October 4th. Okay, they've said they will conduct the prelims examination. They'll see to that, people from all the places is able to move. Only when transport is open in all the places, the UPSC will go for conduction of the examination, because equality of opportunity. Just because some incident or some social issues, somebody should not be at a disadvantaged position, okay, in order to compete in the society. Okay, then status. What do you mean by status? The word status means role in the society. So what is the role that is played by each individual in the society? So irrespective of your status, you'll be treated equal. Whether you are a rich person or a poor person, law will be applied in the same manner. Rule book should be applied in the same manner. Okay, so that is what we call it as right to equality. Okay, fine. Then one more thing. Okay, natural differences are there. Social inequality. Okay, natural differences are there, and then we have social inequality. Okay, so if I use this word, it would be easy, even though I don't prefer to use this word, natural inequality. Okay, for your understanding purpose, I'm using the word natural inequality versus social inequality. The natural inequality based on our physical capabilities. Some are tall, some are short. Okay, some can run faster, some can swim faster. Okay, so there are different in physical abilities. Okay, somebody has a very good stamina, they can work for longer hours. Somebody has no stamina, so they can work for lesser number of hours only. So based on the physical capacity, okay, differences are there. That is unequal. Okay, then based on your cognitive abilities, cognitive means your mental powers. Okay, some can do maths well, some can write poetry well. Okay, some are good in dancing. So they call it as multiple intelligence. You don't have a single intelligence, you have multiple intelligences. Okay, so what happens is you will be experts in different, all are not equal, all are special in a respective way. So person who's dancing good cannot be given 100 out of 100 in mathematics. Okay, a person who's good in mathematics cannot be awarded as the best dancer. Okay, so based on your physical capacity and cognitive capacity, based on your efforts, there will be some differences. This natural inequality will be recognized and rewarded. Remember, in society, natural differences will be recognized and rewarded. If you try to eliminate the natural differences, society will stagnate. A country will stagnate. When it comes to social inequality, okay, it is constructed by society, created by society. It is not natural. Okay, thousands of years you keep telling somebody is inferior, the society starts believing that group is inferior. For example, caste, based on gender, okay, based on race, based on religion. Okay, so Hitler will usually say that you tell a lie for 10 times, it will become a truth. Keep on telling a lie for 10 times, it becomes a truth. So that is why even in the current times, telling truth is very important, and again and again. Okay, so if the society keeps telling is one of the caste, so-called, say scheduled caste is the lower caste, like that thousands of years telling, both the mainstream society as well as people belonging to that caste start believing that they are inferior. This is what we call it as social inequality. Gender, okay, for centuries, okay, for many centuries, it has been told in all the societies that okay, men are superior or women are inferior. Okay, and in case of race, white race is supreme and the black race is inferior. Okay, so this is what we call it as social inequality. Now, when we talk about equality in Constitution, we are talking about creating social equality. The Constitution of India wants to eliminate social inequality. Okay, it never want to touch the natural inequality or natural differences. Natural differences will be recognized and rewarded by the government. Okay, whereas social inequality will be eliminated, or we will make an attempt to create social equality. So the word equality in the preamble, it means equality in the society. Okay, it means social equality. Understand that. Okay, so based on race, religion, caste, okay, gender, we are trying to remove the difficulties. Any doubts in this? Okay, fine. So all of you remember equality means very simple. Okay, equality means it's not perfect equality, it is equity. Once again, it is not equality of outcome, it is equality of opportunity and status. And it is not eliminating natural inequality, but it is eliminating social inequality. These are the 3 points you should keep in mind. That's all. Okay, after all these discussions, what you should carry throughout the Constitution is these 3 points. Okay, can anybody click on the hand raise button and list out the 3 points which should be remembered under equality? So, yeah, Supriyo, yes.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, good morning.
Yes, sir. Sir, the Constitution strives to achieve equality of opportunity and
Okay.
status.
Okay.
It does not recognize equality of outcome. It
Okay.
rewards it rewards the natural differences, and it
Very
also
good.
recognizes it. But it tries to remove the social inequality and achieve equality.
Okay, fine. So now, small correction: the country will reward and recognize natural inequality. The work of the Constitution is to prevent social inequality. See, Constitution is a document which repairs the flaws in the society. If something is going fine in the society, it will not touch that area. Same like law also. If people automatically follow the traffic rules, there is no need for traffic signal. There is no need for traffic police, traffic rules, right? Okay, so remember, law is always negative. It is an additional information. Okay, you will learn it as we go into the Constitution. Don't worry. So when we put it, we should put natural inequality will be recognized and rewarded by society, country. Okay, they do not, but the Constitution tries to bring social equality. It does not strive to bring natural equality. That would hamper the society itself. Good. Thank you, Supriyo. Fine.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Okay. Now, before moving into the next topic, liberty, I would like to talk about the difference between socialism and communism. Okay, this was a question raised by Shivapriya in the doubt clearing session. Okay, so the last class, after the class when we were discussing, she asked this question: what is the difference between socialism and communism? See, that day we were discussing communalism under the secularism topic. Okay, so communalism is different. Okay, see, communalism. Communalism and communism is different. And now, what is the difference between socialism and communism? Is that question raised by Shivapriya. So, socialism is means of production owned by the state. Already we know means of production owned by state. In a perfect communist society, the means of production will be owned by community. All of them, okay, not the state, community, because there won't be any state or government, okay, in communism. In case of socialism, there will be a government. For example, China calls itself as a communist country, but actually it is not communist, it is socialist because they have a government. Okay, they never talk about removal of government. Russia also calls itself as a communist country, but it is not a communist country, it is a socialist country because they have a government. Okay, a perfect communism example can be seen in tribal communities. Okay, so you see tribal communities and all, the entire forest land where they live in, it belongs to everybody. Okay, it does not belong to one person. So anybody can go and gather the fruits and vegetables, or whatever animals are found, anybody can go and hunt. Okay, so the resources that is available in the forest is common for all. So the means of production is common for everybody. That is called as communist society. It can be found only in primitive tribal groups. In modern times, we cannot have a communist society. Okay, they say it is an ideal. It is a utopia. They use the word utopia, meaning something which is ideal, which cannot be achieved. Okay, heaven like. And the opposite of utopia is dystopia, the worst ever case. So we are living, the earth is, they say something between utopia and dystopia, which means good thing and bad thing. Okay, fine. So in case of communism, communism is not possible in any. But however, they use the word because countries try to become communist. They want to remove even the state and class and everything and have a common resources. Okay. So just imagine, all the property in India is belonging to all the people of India. Practically, it is not possible. Okay. But it is an ideal. That is the difference. Okay. So those societies which even calls themselves as communist societies, they are not really communist societies because they have a state. They are socialists. Okay. Fine. Shivapriya, is that fine? Okay, I'll continue. You just text yes in the chat box. Okay, fine. Next, liberty. No, a kind request to you all, those people who are comfortable with the video, please enable your video, because I'm talking to empty chairs. Okay, if you are coming in online now, it will be good. Okay, yes. As long as you are comfortable, you can enable. Okay, thanks for that. Okay, some people have enabled. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, fine. Liberty. When we talk about the concept of liberty, immediately people think freedom. There's a lot of difference between liberty and freedom. There is a lot of difference between liberty and freedom. Okay, liberty is in relation with state, that is country. Okay, freedom is something which is related to overall society. Okay, freedom and liberty is different. Okay, freedom. Okay, there was a women in I should say there is a woman actually called as Hadia in Kerala. She came to Tamil Nadu in order to pursue her higher studies. When she was studying, she fell in love with a Muslim boy. Okay, and she got married to that person, and obviously she converted to Islam also. Okay, fine. Now, whether she is legally eligible to marry outside religion? Yes, of course. No law in our country prevents interreligious marriage. No law in our country prevents intercaste marriage. Okay, so we can say that every Indian citizen is liberty. Okay, has liberty to choose their spouse. They have the liberty to choose their spouse. Whom to marry, they can decide. You have the liberty to eat whatever food you want. You want to eat vegetarian, you want to eat non-vegetarian. That is your choice. The state is not going to come and stop you. Okay. State is never going to interfere. So you are at liberty to eat what you want, dress as you wish, marry anyone you want. But you belong to a particular caste, you belong to a particular religion. So your religion, caste and family will say that you should not marry outside religion, you should not marry outside the caste. You should marry according to the rules of the family. When you eat, your family will say that you should eat vegetarian only. Okay. So like that, you are not at freedom, complete freedom. Okay. To put it exactly, let us take the marriage example. You cannot marry outside your caste and religion. So how we will put that? The citizens of India, okay, does not have freedom to marry. You have liberty to marry, but not freedom. So freedom is overall you are free from everything. Nobody is putting constraint on you. You can do whatever you want. Okay, but liberty means the state will not interfere. Okay, so we can define liberty as absence of constraint of state. Okay, liberty is absence of constraint. Liberty is, whereas freedom is absence of constraint from overall society. So when it comes to Hadia, what happened is her parents called her to home and locked her up inside the room, telling that it's wrong that you have married a person from other religion. You don't have the freedom. Okay, you don't have the freedom, like that they've said. Some groups, okay, NGOs, they went and filed a case in the Supreme Court. Okay, of course, starting from Kerala High Court, and finally it reached the Supreme Court. In Supreme Court, they filed a case, appeal. They say that Hadia should be allowed to go and join her husband, live happily with the person of her choice. Okay, like that they filed a case. Okay, now Supreme Court, after analyzing the case, clearly said, okay, every individual has the right to marry a person of her own choice, of his own choice. Okay, the family, religion and caste should not be a barrier. So the Supreme Court declared there is freedom to marry under Article 21. Okay, this later we will see. Don't worry about the article numbers when I say. It will automatically get into your mind. Now don't worry. Okay, under Article 21, Supreme Court said that you have freedom. So they have not used the word liberty, they have used the word freedom, meaning state already have given you the permission to marry outside your caste, outside your religion, not a problem. Our state is not preventing you for intercaste marriage or interreligious marriage. But it is the family system, it is the caste and religion which is constraining you not to make a choice. Okay, so now court has to interfere and free the person, tell that you are free to marry. So that is why they are using the word freedom. So remember, there is a difference between the word freedom and the word liberty. Liberty pertains to state, freedom pertains to the individual. okay, the entire society. So when we say freedom of speech of expression, supposing we use the word freedom, we are not using the word liberty of freedom of, sorry, liberty of speech and expression. We are saying freedom of speech and expression. Okay, freedom of speech and expression. Meaning, okay, the entire society should allow you to freely speak. If somebody is putting a constraint on you, you can go to the court of law. Okay, some of you might have come across this contempt case of Prashant Bhushan, and you may be talking, sir, even the court is stifling the freedom of speech and expression. That is a debate. When we come to freedom of speech and expression, Article 19, we will discuss that in detail, so don't worry now. Right now, the point I'm trying to say is, every one of us has the freedom, so society should not come and prevent our speech. In case society is coming and preventing our freedom of speech, government is going to come and facilitate or ensure us in expressing our freedom. Okay, I will give you an example so that you can understand what I said now. Okay, so in our last year of the college, usually, okay, we will try to take a short film, right? Okay, and you, especially engineers, okay, or you will try to at least act, or at least to do something. Okay, just assume that you have created a short film. You have the freedom to speech and expression, so you can direct a short film and film it. Now we are going to a cinema house, theater, and asking the theater owner to film the short film. Okay, screen the film. Okay, now whether you are at liberty to take a short film and screen it in a movie theater, yes, state is not banning you, state is not preventing you, you are free, you are at liberty. Okay, you and I can create a short film and screen it in the theater, not a problem. But supposing some fringe elements are there, okay, some extreme people, okay, extremists are there, they are offended by your film. Maybe you talk about something, no, about a religion, about a caste. Maybe you are talking about honor killing, or you are talking about some evil practices in some religion. Okay, so the particular group feels that it is offended. So what they are doing is they are threatening you, telling that I will involve in violence. They are going to the theater owner and saying that we will tear the screen, we will burn the theater, you should not screen this particular short film. Like that they are threatening the theater owner. Now what happens? You have the liberty to express your views, to take short film and screen it, but you don't have freedom, because some fringe elements in the society is coming and stifling your freedom, constraining you, telling that you should not screen the film. Okay, now government is looking into the film and finds that it is nothing offensive is there, that particular group is unwarrantedly creating trouble. Okay, so in this situation, what the state has to do, what the police has to do, the police will go and give protection, security, and tell the theater owner you screen the film, because that individual citizen has the freedom of speech and expression. So if in society somebody comes and put constraint, prevents the person to do a particular act, the state has to come and protect, because the individual has a freedom. Okay, fine. So now why I have to talk about this is because liberty itself, there are two types of liberty: negative liberty and positive. Negative liberty, positive liberty. Yes. Now in polity, whenever the word positive and negative is coming, I wanted you to have a different meaning. Okay, I asked you not to understand positive means good, negative means bad, like that. That is a general understanding. But when it comes to polity, positive means what? Somebody click on the hand raise button and answer me. In polity, whenever you use the word positive. Yes, 100.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes.
Whenever the positive means it is go along with the state.
Is it go along with the state or there is a action from the state?
Act from the state.
Very good, very good. Positive means, thank you. Your name?
Sivamuthu Kumar, sir.
Okay, thank you, Sivamuthu Kumar. Thank you. Okay, now positive means there is action of the state. Negative means absence of action of the state. Arvind, what is the problem? Continue பண்ணலாமா Arvind? Okay, positive means there is action from the state. Negative means there is no action, absence of action of the state. So when I say liberty is absence of constraint from state, state is not preventing you, it means negative. Okay, so state will leave you free. Okay, you can do whatever you want, state will not interfere. That is called as negative liberty. But Indian constitution not only talks about negative liberty, it talks about both negative liberty as well as positive liberty, meaning sometimes state will act, okay, in order to ensure that you are exercising your freedom. Okay, the example of short film, when some people in the society is coming and saying that I will involve in violence, I will not allow your film to be screened. The police gives security, the police acts. Okay, the police, okay, acts, performs a function, and then allows you to exercise your freedom of speech and expression. Okay, it helps you to exercise your freedom of speech and expression. Okay, so the point you must keep in mind is liberty means absence of constraint of the state, but that is not the only meaning, that is one side of the coin. Okay, in Indian constitution we are going to talk about both. Okay, negative liberty, that is in some state the state will be silent, it will be folding its hands and allow you to do whatever you want. Okay, that is liberty. Okay, then positive liberty is the state will act in order to ensure that you are exercising freedom. That is, whenever society is coming and putting you constraint, state will come and assist. If society coming and discriminating you on the basis of caste, telling that you are a lower caste, the government will take measures to ensure that inequality is removed. If the government is saying that you are a lower gender, you are a female, you should sit inside the home, you should not take part in civil services exam, you cannot write civil services examination, UPSC will come and say that women should take civil service examination in large numbers, so we will encourage more women, so we will say that there is no fees for women in the prelims examination, mains examination. Okay, and in even in interview, okay, what they do is women are given extra percentage marks, okay, some 5 to 10 marks extra compared to a male candidate, because the UPSC wants to encourage women. Okay, fine. So the point here is, when a state acts to enable people to exercise their freedom, then that is called as positive freedom. So we can say positive liberty, which is spoken in Indian constitution, okay, will help you to have freedom. Positive liberty paves way for freedom. Clear, no? Okay, so there is difference between freedom and liberty. Okay, so liberty is something related to state. Now, whether liberty is there in all spheres, liberty is there in all spheres. No, constitution says liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. Liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. Okay. And since they are using the word liberty, which means what? State. Okay. So there was this one person uh, who wanted to marry a person from other religion. So both of them like each other, but the problem is, okay, that one person doesn't want to convert, but the other person insisting, only if you convert I will marry you. Okay. Now one person came and said, sir, can I file a case in the court of law telling that my liberty is being countered? Point here is liberty means with state. State has not prevented you. It is your personal choice. You have to manage the situation and you have to talk with your partner and resolve the issue. You cannot come to the state or court of law. Something which is your personal sphere. Okay, so when we say liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, it is completely related to state. Okay, the country. Okay. And in these spheres only, okay, you cannot claim liberty in other spheres. Or the constitution from article 19 to 22 clearly describes what is liberty, what is freedom, what are the freedoms that you can enjoy. Okay, exhaustive list is given. Okay, you cannot exercise liberty out of this. Okay, or court, unless constitution or law or court is coming and telling that the citizen of India has liberty in these areas, that area state will not prevent. So wherever the state has not said anything, it means those areas state can interfere in other areas. Okay, fine. Now why liberty and thought is very liberty of thought and expression is very important. Okay, for human society, progress is required. If human society has to progress, you should allow people to express their there is a technical error here. Please wait. Please wait. There's a technical error here, so please wait for 5 minutes.
You are in the meeting now.
Hello. Kanakkavliya.
You are in the meeting now.
Fine. Am I audible now, friends? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Milk. Okay, so liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith. Now, that day, once again in doubt clarification session, one of you asked, what is the difference between belief and faith? Okay, belief is a wider concept. Faith is a related to religion. Okay, Hindu faith, Christian faith, Islamic faith. Okay, so faith is related to religion, whereas belief is a wider thing. Not only religious belief, it covers political beliefs, your beliefs in society, okay, your beliefs about the family system and other things. Okay, so these are all liberty. So you are in absolute freedom, absolute, or I should say, you are at liberty of belief as well as faith. Okay, so one small thing. There are atheists, right? Now, if you ask the atheist, what is your faith? They'll say that I don't have faith. Okay, so that is why the word belief also should be introduced to tell that, okay, you can have the belief that there is no God, or the belief that there is no religion. That is also a belief. Okay, so in fact, usual words, they call religious people as believers, non-religious people as non-believers. Okay, but in polity, with respect to polity, the word belief means all kinds of belief, your opinion towards everything in your life. Okay, it may be religion, it may be politics, it may be your family, it may be about your friend, about your leader. Okay, so any opinion, any belief that you are having, that you have at liberty. State cannot come and say you should believe this only, you should follow this only. No. Likewise, faith also, religion. Okay, you are at a free will to choose your own religion. State cannot force. Okay, fine. Done. Now, whether liberty is absolute, that is the next point. No, liberty is not absolute. You have restrictions, reasonable restrictions. In Constitution, there is a word freedom of movement. Freedom of movement, which means you can freely move around. Okay, nobody can ask you to stay in your home. Okay, you can come out, you can go to the market, you can go to the public place, you can go to the malls, you can go to the beach, wherever you want you can go. You have the freedom of movement. But whether this freedom of movement should be absolute, it should be always no. If there is an epidemic like corona, the state can come and ask you to remain in home. It can impose 144, okay, and it can say that you are restricted, don't come outside. Now, why state is asking you not to come outside? Okay, one is you should not get infected. That is the one reason. Suppose if you are infected, it may affect others. When you are exercising your freedom of movement, when you go outside, that if that may result in affecting others, that is why they are quarantining. Okay, quarantine or home isolation. Okay, isolation. Isolation is you are isolating yourself at home. Quarantine is government will take you and put you in some hospital or some public institution and prevent you from moving outside. So both isolation and quarantine is a reasonable restriction. Why we are saying it is a reasonable restriction? Whenever your action will cut down the freedom of others, your freedom can be cut. Very simple. The constitution says yes, you can enjoy freedom, you have the right to movement, but if your freedom of movement is going to affect others' rights, it is going to affect the society, then your freedom of movement can be restricted. Either the state can put you in a place to quarantine, or state may ask you to be at home, isolate yourself. Okay, so that is what we call it as reasonable restriction. So remember, liberty comes with reasonable restriction. Okay, liberty comes with reasonable restriction. Okay, see, remember, the what constitutes liberty is explained, or in detail it is said in article 19 to 22. There you will find what exactly is the reasonable restriction. That also is clearly given in the constitution. So now you must know that there is reasonable restrictions for liberty. Okay, now interesting question is, there can be restrictions for your expression. Okay, but there cannot be restriction for your thought. You cannot have restrictions for your thought. See, human mind thinks both in a good way and bad way, and we choose the right paths. Okay, if you have a conscience mind, we choose the right paths. Okay, so the state cannot put any restriction for your thought process. Just imagine, no, if people are punished for their thoughts, okay, punished for their thoughts, all of us will be in jail. That is because when we think, okay, we think in multiple dimensions, we think good, we think badly. Okay, the state can punish you only when you act. Okay, that is what I am saying. Restriction is there for the expression. When you, so supposing this recently in Tamil Nadu's case, there was this Karupar Kootam issue. Okay, there was a group, who supposed to humiliate, or they have published a video in YouTube humiliating Lord Muruga. Okay, so now that person has been arrested. Whether it is correct? Yes, because you can think whatever in your mind, no issues, but you have expressed it in a public media, and that too has hurt the sentiments of others. You have the freedom of speech and expression to the extent it is not hurting others. When it has hurt the sentiment of others, you can be arrested. Okay, so if someone of you asks, sir, is it right to arrest that person? Somebody that day was asking digital secularism. Yes, it is right to arrest that person because the person has hurt the community. Okay, now who has to decide it, whether the person has hurt the community or not? The court of law. The court will see the content and will decide whether, because simply some fringe elements may accuse. Okay, sometimes even ordinary criticism of a religion itself, they will say that they are criticizing. அவங்க என்ன ஸ்டூடெண்ட் எதை கம்ப்ளைண்ட் பண்றாங்க? I'm really sorry here. There is a technical problem again. Okay, so please wait for 5 minutes. இன்னைக்கு தான் இப்படி நடக்குதா இல்லை
You are in the meeting now.
Is it audible? And is the video is clear? I'm getting complaints from the student that the video is blurring. Okay, audio is fine, it seems. Video is fine. Yes. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to conclude with regarding to the liberty topic. The final point which I want to set is, for whatever we are thinking, we cannot be punished because we think in multiple ways, and we cannot also assess. How can state assess whether you are thinking in a particular way or not? But when you express, state can confirm that whether it is a right act or wrong act. It will be right as long as it is not hurting others. If your freedom is affecting others, your freedom can be restricted. Simple. So what we saw in case of liberty, liberty means absence of constraint. That is the first point. Absence of constraint. And we saw that not only absence of constraint but also positive liberty leads to freedom. And liberty is there in some spheres. I have mentioned liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship. And finally, there is reasonable restriction. Okay. In case if it is hurting the society, it can be restricted. So liberty is over. Any doubts? Any doubts? Please click on the hand raise button or raise your doubt in the chat box. Any doubts? Yes, there is.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, you said liberty is in 5 spheres. Is it positive or negative liberty, sir?
Both positive as well as negative. Okay. For example,
Sir.
liberty of faith is there, no? Supposing you are following Hindu religion. Okay. You are going to temple. The state cannot prevent you from going to temple. Okay. Or you are Christian, you want to go to church. The state cannot prevent you from going to the church. But at the same time, while going towards the church, we find, or a temple, we find that some other religious people are coming and stopping you. Or say, atheists are coming and blocking you, telling that you should not enter the temple, you should not go to the church. Then government will provide security for you to go into the religious place. Or just imagine a procession, religious procession.
So what?
Please, I'll complete. Vinayak Chaturthi procession is there. Okay, you want to undertake it, but some fringe elements are warning that no, I will not allow the procession. Now police will come and give security to practice your religion. So you have the liberty to faith. Okay, so that liberty that you find in the preamble, the 5 spheres, is both positive as well as negative. Okay, both will be there. Yeah, you had some question.
Sir, yeah, sir, you said that post-religious conversion doesn't come under these things and state won't interfere since it's a personal matter. How is it, sir? Because it's liberty of faith, right?
Yeah, in this case, there are 2 types of conversion. One is voluntary conversion and forceful conversion. As long as the conversion is voluntary, it is liberty of faith. Okay, so state cannot intervene. Negative. State should fold its hands and it should not interfere. It should allow you to convert to other religion. But if there is forceful conversion, say threat is there, violence is there, okay, or some inducements is there, okay, people telling that I'm giving you job, education, so you convert. Okay, that is against the liberty of faith. You don't really believe in that religion. You are forced to change your belief. So at that time, state has to initiate law and prevent such forced conversions. Okay. So forceful conversions can be prevented by state. Voluntary conversions, state should avoid. It's no action of the state. So in that case also, 2 ways. Okay. Now where this negatively, when it has to act positively, it is defined by law. Okay. We have various laws. For example, anti-forceful conversion laws are there in many states. Okay, if law is not there, court has to come and clarify in which cases the government has to go for positive liberty, in which cases the government has to go for negative liberty. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
yes, sir. In all the other spheres except these five, so it's completely a positive action from the state, right, sir? The state can interfere
Choice.
in all the other spheres.
The state may or may. In these spheres, they are clearly saying state should not interfere. Negative liberty. Are you able to understand this?
No, I don't know. Sir, you said both positive and negative.
See, I'll tell you, it is positive as well as negative. In other spheres, it is the choice of the state. Here, the constitution is defining these areas as a no-touch area. Constitution always draws the red line. Okay. In other areas, according to the problem, the state can decide what it can do. Okay, it can create law, it can interfere. Okay. But when it comes to these five things, okay, it is so sacrosanct that the state cannot take away the liberty of thought, expression, faith, belief, and worship.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Supposing you are choosing your higher studies. Okay. If state is giving some constraint, telling that, okay, you have to pass the 12th standard examination 35. And state is also saying that after getting 35% marks, you have to take part in an entrance examination. For medical exam, for medical, you have to take NEET. For IIT and IIMs, you have to take the IIT entrance exam, JEE, joint entrance examination. Like that, state is, imposing a lot of restrictions. Okay, so there you cannot go and file a case at the new education policy, okay, telling that your liberty is at stake. Okay, but when it comes to religious matter, if the state is enacting a law, it will be tested whether your liberty of religion is affected. See, when they create the constitution, they will see what are the big problems in the country. When we create a constitution, usually the state will touch upon your faith. The ruling party will say that you have to follow my faith. When Mughals, they said you should follow Islam. When Chhatrapati Shivaji, when he was ruling, he was telling all these people should follow Hinduism. Okay, and in many countries where British went, they converted people to Christianity, telling that you all should be Christians. Okay, so that is why when we created a constitution, in a new country that is in a modern constitution, there will be no touch upon the liberty, faith, and other things. These five things. So these are the five areas where potentially the state can touch. The state can come and arrest you for thinking, arrest you for your expression and other things. So these things are sacrosanct; it should not be touched. That is why they are mentioned. Other things are open for state. It depends upon the state. Okay, it is open for the state whether to act or not. But in these areas, there is a restriction. First, case is negative liberty. In case society is creating trouble, state has to come protect. That is where, in case of negative liberty, there's no action from state, I told you. Positive liberty is action from the state so as to prevent those who curtail freedom. Okay, those who curtail freedom. Okay, so in other areas, the state can easily restrict, completely restrict. Okay, here there is a red line. These five areas is untouchable. And if the state is doing, state has to do as a protector. Okay. The question you put is, whether state it is positive. Positive means not all actions. Actions to prevent people from hurting the freedom, or to go and take action against those people who are curtailing the freedom. Fine.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, repair. 406, please enable. No, I think you're clicked on the hand raise. You have to enable
Hello.
your.
So just now I asked my questions.
Fine. So next is justice. Concept of justice. Supposing there are 4 people, okay, their names are A, B, C. Pavitran, I'll deal with the doubt later. Now, please know when we give some doubt session, please ask in that time. Once I start the class, hold up, and then you can ask when I give chance for asking the doubts. Okay, fine. So, Pavitran, you have requested for doubt. Let us do it later. Okay, after completing the justice, I'll give time. Okay, for doubt clarification. At that time, you can ask. Fine. Okay. See, so when we are enabling you, okay, we'll be enabling one by one only. So please understand that. Okay. So now please hold on. I will clear your doubt. Please wait. Okay. Let's not cut the flow of the class. There are 4 people, A, B, C, D. Okay, 4 people. Let us assume. In UPC preparation, okay, one of the techniques to clear the examination is group discussion. Very important. Okay. And in any field, this is not only for UPSC, human beings survive by networking, creating contacts, speaking with people. Okay. Unfortunately, that is why Corona, has killed humanity. We can say that it has, broken our very basic skill, or broken our very basic tendency, nature. In fact, in the beginning of the class, I told please enable video, okay, because I'm not able to take classes to empty chats. Okay, that is because we are designed in such a way to interact. Okay, so through interaction only we can learn a lot. Why interactions are very important, and especially a subject like polity, that is group discussion is important, is because you may assume that you have understood something in the concepts that you are learning. This applies for economics also. Okay, when they talk about GDP, a lot of new concepts, the policy rates, SLR, CRR, etc., you would assume that you have understood the meaning, but only when you share it with the friends, discuss with the friends, your friend will assess whether your understanding is correct or not. If 2-3 of you agree with that concept, then all of you are correct. Okay, so all 3 cannot be wrong. So it is always better to have group discussion. First is for concept clarity, remember. Okay, so you can still do it by physical distancing. Group discussion by Zoom app is there, WhatsApp thing is there. Okay, still can form groups, and that is where offline class is very important. Okay, when you come here to Chennai and study in the offline mode, you get to know each other, who are in your same field. More the interaction with them, more the chances of clearing the examination and more concept clarity. Okay, then UPSC requires multi-dimensional thinking. Second point. Okay, UPSC requires your mains answer should not be unidimensional. What is the meaning? See, our opinions are shaped by the religion we belong to, the caste we belong to, the region we come from, whether we are studied in city or rural area. So depending upon that, we will have our opinion. Okay, and that will be narrow, one-sided opinion. Okay, so recently this Markandeya Kachu issue, the former Supreme Court judge. Okay, most of you would be following his post, no? Every hour he is posting one message, okay, saying that somebody has posted into his FB thing. Okay, now if you see, just by seeing the first line, people start to comment. If you read the entire paragraph, even Markandeya Kachu himself, whatever message sent to him, he's not read the entire message. Okay, if the person has involved this word, okay, sir, this Dravidian parties only has created trouble for Tamil Nadu, and I am feeling bad for not learning Hindi. These two words, if he finds, immediately he'll put. Okay, so those who have followed the humorous posts and all will know this. Okay, people have a tendency, they see a word, immediately they'll oppose. Narrow-minded. Okay, they do not read everything. There is no open mind. Okay, just seeing the first two lines of the statement, they will assume that this fellow should have talked, or this fellow is supporting that side, so my opinion is this side. Okay, so this is what we call as unidimensional. Based on our social position, we will be having thinking. You write answers like that, you will not get marks. Easily they'll scrutinize. You will think that this fellow is not suitable for civil services. Okay, so don't go by your own opinions. Your opinion should be multi-dimensional. That is, it should have all the perspectives in it. How to develop this multi-dimensional quality? It comes by practice only. We find some of the toppers, they say, it took for 2 years, 3 years for me to settle down for UPSC preparation. It is because, okay, they were shaping themselves from a single orientation to multi-dimensional orientation. How it can be done? Group discussion. When 3-4 of you people come together and share your opinion, 4 different opinions is coming, then you will be aware that a particular issue can be looked in that perspective also. So you can include that opinion also in your answer. So multi-dimensional thinking is very important. Okay, Gandhi, for example, okay, he has given a rule, okay, for the public servants or politicians, all those who are at service of the public. Gandhi said, whenever you are making a decision, whenever you are in a dilemma, you have to follow a rule in order to ensure that decision is a comprehensive decision, a decision which covers everything. Okay, what is that rule, or what is that mantra? Okay, yes, can you tell me? Gandhi has given a mantra, okay, or a set of rules, or simple idea how to arrive at decision. You can use this in mains ethics paper also. Yes, do or die, that is for all. Okay, do or die, he says, for all individuals. Okay, I am asking for public servants, those who are at service of people. Very good. Who is that? 530. Okay, good. Okay, he has said that, thinking in others' perspective. Okay, Gandhi would put this in this in a different way. He would say that whenever he is having a dilemma in decision making, Gandhi will place himself in others' position. Who are all these others? He will say that he will think himself as a person living in a rural area, belonging to scheduled caste community, and a woman, and he will assume that he is a woman, and he is also a tribe, okay, belonging to a tribal group. And then he will think how his decision will impact all these people. So whenever he made critical decisions during the freedom struggle, okay, he thought in these lines only. He said that, I will imagine that as if I am a Dalit, I am a tribal person, I am a rural person, I am a farmer, okay, I'm a poor person. Okay, so I will think of the persons in the least position, okay, or in the very least advantageous position, so that when a decision is made, it is beneficial for all. Okay, now this multidimensional, this is one example of multidimensional thinking. Okay, so Gandhi says that you should not think for you, your own caste, your own family, your own religion. You have to think for everybody, because you are going to be national leaders. Future bureaucrats, you are going to be national leaders, you should have multidimensional thinking. So the evaluators also will require multidimensionality in your answers. How to develop the multidimensionality? It does not come immediately. Okay, human nature is we will be prejudiced, we will be one-sided. Okay. To bring this, you have to involve yourself more and more in discussion. Discuss with your friends. Okay, so that is why group discussion is very important. Fine. Okay, now the point I want to stress is, okay, just imagine A, B, C, D. Okay, 4 of them is there. They are forming a group. Okay, for concept clarity and multi-dimensional thing, they're forming a group. In the group discussion, person A and person B reads well, studies well at home, and comes to the group discussion and expresses all the opinion. Okay, so whatever they are understanding, whatever they are thinking about the topic, they are coming and openly expressing in the group discussion. C, he reads well, but he never opens mouths in the group discussion. We all have the person like this in our groups, right? Especially just before the examination. Okay, a person will come hurriedly and say that, dear friend, I have not studied anything. Okay, this one important question they are saying will come in the examination because the professor was emphasizing that question. So please explain that. Okay, after this fellow explains, this fellow will go to another person and say, explain me another question. Like that, 3-4 people, 3-4 questions you will manage. Okay, and then write the exam, clear the semester. Okay, so lot of people are like person C. Okay, only hear from people and put all that in the paper and clear. Now in UPSC you should not be like this. Okay, see, as much as you discuss, your friend also will discuss, more points are generated. When you give more, you get more. Okay, that is the human philosophy. Okay, so you should not be like C. Okay, but let us assume that C is reading well, but he is not contributing in the group discussion. Okay, now D is there. This fellow is the one who initiates the dialogue, always speaks in the group. Okay, he, cracks joke and everything, but D never reads at all. At home he never reads at all. Okay, so these two people are very dangerous. If they are in your group, please remove them from the group. Okay, both C and D. Now in case of C, the problem is they are selfish, so they don't contribute, they reduce the productivity. Persons like D, even though they are jovial, very social, okay, good people to live with, okay, happy people, but they give uninformed opinions, okay, or shaded opinions, I would say. Their own personal opinion based on their caste, religion and all, no? Like what they do in Facebook, no? All debates that is taking place based on their personal opinion without understanding the content. Okay. So what you should have is an informed opinion. What you should have is informed opinion. Meaning after studying a issue properly, completely, then you have to come out with the opinion. So this is what they say as informed opinion. So D will not come with an informed opinion, he is also not okay. Fine. Now the point is A and B has done just thing, right thing. But C and D have done injustice. Why? Because it is expected of C to share out the information. It is expected out of D that he should read and come. But both C and D is not doing what they have to do. So they have committed injustice to A and B. Okay, so that is how we define. Now, how can we define justice? Okay, justice is giving due towards the individual. Individual or group, whatever it is. Okay, justice is justice, the concept of justice is giving what is due to an individual. So in this case, okay, what is due to A and B has to be done, then only A will be subjected to justice, otherwise it is injustice. Okay, I think you are able to get the concept. Now, how justice can be done? C has to be expressing his opinion, and D reads and come, justice is done to A and B. A and B had done justice to C and D. What is their role? They have done. What is due to the C and D, they have given. Okay, but C and D has done injustice to A and B. So in whatever spheres, the concept of justice is you have to give what is due to an individual. What has to be given to an individual has to be given. What has to be given to a community has to be given. What has to be given to a particular religion has to be done. What has to be done to a particular caste group has to be done. Okay, then only we call it as justice. Okay, now in group discussion, many of the students will have this, sir, how many hours to discuss? We are studying a lot, how many hours to discuss? Remember, your group discussion should be less, individual reading should be more. If you are preparing for 8 hours, okay, totally 8 hours of study, 7 hours should be for your individual study and 1 hour only discussion. In case of a week, 5 days if you are studying, 1 day in a week, okay, say 2 to 3 hours, half a day, you can allocate for the discussion. Okay, so discussion should not be the only mode of preparation. It is a complementary to your individual preparation. Okay, so don't go and start a group, and keep chatting. Then also you will not have informed opinion. Group discussion gives you opinion, but information you have to extract from your studies only. Okay, so together you can enable yourself for a very good answer. Okay, done. Now ABCD, this is now justice has 3 dimensions. Political justice, economic justice, then social justice. Okay, political, economic and social justice. There are 3 dimensions of justice. Political, economic and social justice. Now I told you the term justice. See, once again, when you read polity, economy and other human social sciences and all, words itself will explain you the concept. When 2 words are given like this, in examination usually it happens. Don't skip the question and come if you don't know. Just try to think of the meaning of what is political, what is justice. You will arrive at the meaning of what is political justice. We know what is political. Political means public decision making process in order to resolve the conflict, that you know. In the first class we saw polity is public decision making process to resolve conflicts. Okay, all justice is giving what is due to an individual. What has to be given to an individual has to be given. Now tell me, what is political justice? Anybody? What could be political justice? In political sphere, that in public decision making to resolve conflicts, in public decision making process, we have something to be given to the people. Okay, what is that? Yes, Pavitran.
Hello, Ji. Political justice could be treating every people according to the law, giving everyone the same rule or the thing what they need.
Very good, very good. Okay, so we can say the decisions taken should be equal to all. Okay, what is due to an individual is, okay, so all individuals should be doing it. Okay, so the decisions should be beneficial for all. Okay, any other points you want to say, Pavitran?
There should be no discrimination based on a person's race, religion, caste, anything.
That is social justice, right? Okay, so he says that, there should be no discrimination based on race, religion, caste, etc. Okay, that is social justice, because in a society, what is due to an individual? Self-respect. Okay, so if you are discriminating, injustice is done. If you are discriminating, injustice is done to an individual. Okay, so that is why they say treating all people equally, equal treatment and absence of discrimination is social justice. Very good, Pavitran. Good.
Political
Can you
justice
try?
could be, yeah, including giving opportunity to everyone to be in the political decision making setup or the body.
Very good. Political justice, Pavitran is saying, is that uh, when all of them are taking part in the public decision making process or giving an opportunity for everybody to take part in the public decision, all should be given opportunity to take decision. So that would amount to right to vote, right? Right to stand in the election, right to write civil service examination. So when you are allowed to contest in election and write civil service examination, everybody can become part of the system. Okay. What is economic justice? Anybody? In
It
economics,
could be giving everyone the opportunity to do what profession they like.
okay. So right to occupation. Pavitran is talking about right to occupation is economic justice.
Ensuring everyone are getting the basic amount of financial help to have a dignified life.
Okay. Can we call that as equitable allocation of resources?
Yeah.
Allocation of resources and prevention of concentration of wealth. So Pavitran is saying that you have to ensure the government should ensure that all of them are getting the basic necessities of life or the resource to work, and then prevention of concentration of wealth.
And can I say that government should ensure that the tax collected should be reasonable from every individual?
Good. Yes. Okay. Tax collected should be reasonable, and also spending of tax money should be reasonable. Supposing you are collecting tax from the middle class and too much spending it for the poor, then it is also a problem. Now you collect tax and spend it only for the middle class, that is also a problem. So economic justice would be appropriately collecting tax and appropriately using it. Okay, so that also can be there. Okay, so now you understood the concept: political justice, economic justice, social justice. Remember, justice is better understood in its absence. It's a key point. Justice is better understood in its absence. Okay, I'll come to this. Just note down this point. I'll explain this. Yeah. Okay, so justice can be understood in its absence only. Now, someone should tell me these ideas already we have seen somewhere else. Political justice, we are saying it is right to vote. Political justice, we are saying that it is right to contest in election. Right to this thing. Okay. So where we have found it?
In Constitution, we have basic rights which are ensured for all citizens.
No.
Article 14(2).
No. See, my question was, in our class, our discussion itself, already we have seen these ideas. There, under which concept we discussed? First, let us take political justice. Right to vote, right to stand in the election. When the decision, public decision is taking, that decision should be beneficial for all. Just, when I put like this, immediately think of all the concepts so far we have seen: sovereignty, socialism, secularism, democracy, republic. Under which topic we saw similar ideas: right to vote, right to stand in the election, etc. You can even text in the chat box the answers. Democracy, very good. Who said this answer? Somebody has typed in democracy. Okay, that's good. I'm getting lot of text saying that democracy. Very good. So I've understood the concept. Political democracy, we saw it is right to vote, right to stand in the election, right to take civil service examination, and whatever decision that is taken by the government should be beneficial for all. So political democracy is by the people, of the people, for the people, that we know. In political justice also we are saying the same thing. Right to vote is a political justice. Right to stand in the election is political justice. All should be given a chance to write civil service examination, that is political justice. Because everybody is taking part in the public decision making process. Right? So political democracy also we are listing the same thing. Justice also we are doing the same thing. Okay. Then what is the difference between democracy and justice? Democracy is declaring that right to vote is there. Justice is actually helping people to receive it. Okay. Democracy is the declaration, just right to vote is there, right to stand in the election, right to take up civil service examination. Whereas political justice is ensuring that people are exercising that rights, declarations. So note down, democracy is the means, justice is the end. Democracy is the means. Okay, it is the tool, and justice is the end. Okay, meaning democracy lists out, okay, that these are the things that is required in the country, like that, and actually government implementing is justice. Say the Prime Minister is saying by 2022 all of them will have insurance card, health insurance card, all of them will have house, okay, all Indian citizens will have house. So he is declaring, and he is not discriminating. He is not saying that Hindus only will get, Muslims only will get. He is telling that all the citizens will be getting the benefit. So it is democracy, right? Understood? He is declaring. Now while implementing, supposing if bureaucrats is giving house, giving insurance cards only to the particular caste group and leaving the other people, or they are giving it only to North India, they are leaving the South India, or they are excluding Northeast India, they are concentrating only the, or they are concentrating only in urban area, leaving the farmers and poor people, rural area, okay, they are leaving it. That is called as injustice. So if properly you are giving or declaring something that I will give, then that is democracy. And if you are continuously giving, no problem, nobody is going to come and question. Okay, if Prime Minister is telling that housing will be given, houses will be given to you, all of you, and 2022 all are getting the house, nobody is going to come and say I have received justice. That they will not say justice, they will be happy. Okay, what government promised, they have given. What is due to the individual has been given. When justice is spoken about, if one community is not given the housing particularly, that community will come and say we have been subjected to injustice, because housing is what is due to us, but you have not given it. So justice is better understood in its absence only. Okay. So you are getting your classes, I think video is shared, right? Videos are shared. So the institute is promising that we will share your video, like that they are promising democracy, and we are saying we will share it for all, not for certain students only, but for all we are saying. So it is democracy. Now if one of the students is missing, they will raise a complaint telling that sir, I have missed the video, I have been subjected to injustice. So as long as we are getting what has been promised, we will not say that there is justice, but we will not realize the concept of justice. See, you are all getting education now, you can join schools, colleges. At one point of time, British said that only elite people should. Once again, civil services, let us take example. Modern India classes would have taught At that time, they said civil services should be written only by British people, not by Indians. Now, anybody can take up, no? So you don't feel much fuss about it. Okay, because already justice is there, so you don't realize it. But suddenly government is declaring, notification tomorrow comes and says that people from Chennai city should not take up the civil service examination. Then you realize that you have been subjected to injustice. So that is why I said justice can be better understood by its absence. Okay, injustice. So when right to vote is declared in constitution, we will say yes, India is a democratic country. But when actually right to vote is not exercised, okay, then we will say that injustice has been done. You may be thinking, sir, how exactly? I'll explain the scenario. You are saying right to vote is there for all citizens, fine. But in India, many people are migrant workers. When a person has to move from one place to another, it requires money. So when the election day is coming, migrant workers, will he go back to his rural area just for voting? One day only you are giving leave, okay? Will he go? Or just imagine there is a construction worker, okay, informal sector, meaning they don't have paid leave. Like some of your parents, who are in formal job, they have paid leave, okay, they don't work. Also, Saturdays, Sundays, they will be given. But informal sector, they have to do work, then only they'll get the money. So a construction worker on a polling day, whether he will go to job or whether he will be going to the polling booth. And that fellow is very poor. So only when he takes money that day, he can feed his children. Definitely he will be going to the job only. He will not go to the polling, okay. In fact, another important issue which I want to discuss is, which is related to your public life. Why people are taking bribes? Why poor people, especially people in rural area, take bribes? In India, 82% of the jobs are in informal sector. That is, they have to go to work that day in order to earn. So in an election day, if you want to make all these poor people, rural people to come and vote, they have to be supplemented with their daily wage. So that is why political parties start giving money. Okay, in urban areas where formal work is there, we don't find that political parties are distributing money. Money will be distributed in slum areas in urban area or rural areas where the informal sector is high. Okay, daily wage earners are high, because if they want to stay back in home and go and vote, they need to be given that day's salary. Okay, so this is one of the structural reason why Indian voters are taking bribe. I'm not justifying. So what we have to do? We have to address the economic problem. When we formalize more work, when we give job security for people, when we are ensuring that they are getting paid leaves, automatically this problem of taking bribe for votes will reduce. One side, there are multiple solutions are there. This is one of the solution. We have to address the structural problem. Okay, coming back, a construction worker will not go to the polling station. He will be going for only the work. Now this person is subjected to injustice, we can say. Or a migrant worker, okay, during election day he cannot go to his native, so he sits in his place of work and he does not vote also. Okay, so now what has happened? Right to vote is not allowed to be exercised. Okay, so we can say that justice is not done or injustice has been done. And how to restore justice? We have to create options for them to vote. For example, there is a solution. Why should we have polling booths in certain places like hill areas and all? Why can't we take mobile polling vans, okay, directly to the people in order to receive the vote? It may be an ideal solution. Once again, write it. Okay, even though the solution may not be workable, if you have a solution, please write the solution in the mains. Okay, so the point I'm trying to say is, democracy is the process, justice is the end. Justice can be understood only in its absence. Now, in order to restore justice, you have to give what is due to the individual. What has been denied to the individual, when it is given, you say justice. For example, social justice. Okay, you have to be treated equally. But after hearing your caste, your friend is discriminating you. Okay, treating you in an inferior manner. So what has happened? Injustice has been done to the individual. The equal respect which is due to the individual is not given. Now, how justice can be done? The government should ensure all are treated equally. Okay, so that for the inferior, so-called inferior castes, the government has to go and give a support and try to empower them. When they are empowered, everybody sees them in an equal way. Okay, so here what happens? Justice is when an injustice is removed. Okay, justice is when injustice is removed. Economic justice, as Pavitran rightly said, you have right to occupation. Okay, that is, all of them should be allowed to do the job they like, job they prefer. Now, if government says that, okay, this particular caste should be involving in this job, this particular caste should be involved in this job, then what has happened? You're doing injustice to that particular group because you are denying their right to job. Economic justice is not there. It is economic injustice. Now, how to restore justice? Government should ensure that all are practicing or all are involved in a job of their preference. So that would be economic justice. So if you see, political democracy, political justice, same words we will write, but democracy is the process, justice is the end. Okay. Or you can write democracy is the assurance. Democracy is the assurance. Whereas justice is ensuring that assurance. Take note. I will repeat. Democracy is the assurance given. Democracy is the assurance given, whereas justice is ensuring that assurance. Okay, ensuring that assurance. Okay, now I'll summarize. Justice meaning is giving what is due to an individual or a group. Justice is giving what is due to an individual. Justice has 3 dimensions: political, economic, and social justice. Political justice involves right to vote, okay, ensuring that all are getting access to stand in the election, right civil services. Okay. Then economic justice is ensuring that all are getting their resources. Okay, ensuring that prevention of concentration of wealth is done, bad wealth is done. Okay, black money is prevented. And social justice is ensuring that all are equally respected and there is no discrimination. So as I said, political democracy, political justice, same words we will write, but meaning is different. Economic democracy, economic justice, same words we will write, okay, but the meaning is different. Social democracy and social justice is one and the same. Equal respect to all and absence of discrimination. But democracy is assurance, whereas justice is ensuring the assurance. Okay, ensuring democracy. Okay. And the final point you must understand is justice can be understood in terms of absence of it. Justice could be understood in terms of its absence. And when injustice is done, that is, the absence of justice is injustice. It can be restored by providing what is due to the individual. Once again, the meaning. Justice can be restored by giving what is due to an individual. See, civil service examination can be written by all, men, women, Dalits, tribals, all can write. There is no bar. Okay, there is no bar on it. Okay. Now, civil services, okay, extraordinary intelligent people does not need coaching. Okay, extraordinary people, and that too, they will also, should get proper guidance. They would have some guidance, like seniors who have cleared the examination. Some connect will be there so that they can prepare by themselves. Okay, that is a rarity. But most of them require coaching. Okay, so you can apply and take civil service exam, that is different, but coaching is necessary. But whether coaching can be affordable by all? Okay, so what happens is, most of them from rural area, most of them from scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, okay, they are not able to get the coaching because of high fees and other things. Affordability is not there. Okay, so what happens, even though there is a democracy, there is an open declaration that anybody can take civil service examination, in reality, not all are taking up the civil service examination. So government is looking at it. What has happened? Injustice to a particular community, SC, ST and rural area. So government is conducting examination. Okay, the central government, Ministry of Social Justice is conducting examination. Okay, they are having tie-up with quality institutes in India. Okay, Shankar IAS Academy is one of the quality institutes which is chosen by Ministry of Social Justice. Okay, so last year alone, okay, around 700 students, okay, are government recommended candidates. Government is paying the fees. They are selecting SC, ST candidates. Okay, and this SC, ST candidates is given coaching. Government is paying that fees for the institute. In Karnataka, state government sends around 150 students. Okay, so they are conducting an examination, and those who are at least getting that base marks, those people are selected through an interview, deserving candidates. The fees is paid by the government. So what happened? Because of the prevailing systems, okay, some group is not getting their due need. So government feels that there is injustice. So in order to ensure social justice, the Ministry of Social Justice is selecting the candidates and providing. Now scholarships is social justice. Reservation is a social justice. Okay, so whenever government takes a measure in order to empower the people, the so-called inferior caste and inferior gender, to make them unequal, that is called as social justice. So that is why I said, okay, justice can be understood only in its absence. Okay, now we are all gifted, we should be happy. Okay, staying in your homes, we are connected. Okay, there are rural areas, okay, where connectivity is not there. Okay, for example, Ooty, my native place, okay, for the past 1 week there is no electricity. The heavy rains that has lashed out, landslides and other things. So the particular area, okay, you would have seen in news. Okay, electricity is not there. Do you think students there will be able to have access? Okay, internet connectivity, this second thing. First, electricity itself is not there. Far off in rural area, internet connectivity can be there, but only for 2G data. Okay, like whatever printed material that they can be visible, Wikipedia they can open, but video option and all will be not efficient. Okay, so what has been done? Injustice. Now injustice is there. So what government should do? Ensure that in all places connectivity is there appropriate, so that every student is able to learn during the corona time. Okay, so that is what they are saying now. When Tamil Nadu government is trying to telecast its program in TV, people are saying that injustice is done. Why? Because some people does not have TV, some people do not have cable connection. Okay, some people does not have internet. However, something is better than nothing, but government has to create mechanisms to do justice. What can government do? They can arrange from some common big place, okay, where with social distancing learning process can be initiated. Okay, so the point is, justice could be understood in its absence. Injustice, when injustice is there, government has to act in order to provide justice. Okay, clear? Any doubts? Yes, now you can ask doubts. Yes, Pavitran.
Hello.
Yes.
Ji, my doubt is from Liberty part. I can ask after 1 o'clock if you want.
You can ask anyway.
Not in this.
Because
Huh.
you have the right to ask, because I did injustice to you by denying access. Earlier you raised your hand.
No, Ji.
I, I'm trying to make
Ay,
understand.
ay,
That was not the intention. Okay.
ay. Okay.
Understand justice, concept justice. So in order to restore justice, now I should allow you to talk.
Okay, Chief. Fine. Ji, while telling about liberty, you said the basic definition of liberty and freedom. That I understood. But I couldn't understand when you said that part when you explained about the right, the freedom of speech. I like to ask it with an example. If someone criticizes the government using cartoon or newspaper article or something, if government feel offended, they may arrest them or do something towards them. So in newspaper articles will be written that the freedom of speech have been curtailed by the government. So when the government is curtailing, by definition, it should be the liberty, right? How come it is the freedom in this case?
Now, yes, freedom is a wider concept. You have to use, actually, liberty is only curtailed. Okay. But newspapers, use the word interchangeably. The word freedom. I can understand your issue. The newspapers use the word freedom and liberty interchangeably. But polity, we have to be very cautious. Because in examination, prelims examination, they've asked liberty questions thrice. Okay. And every time it is a repeated question in prelims examination. At that time, this differentiation you must know. But when you read a newspaper, they may interchangeably used. You understand that in the context.
So in this case, freedom of speech can only be curtailed by the society or any group in the society.
That is what I'm saying. Whenever the same thing, no. Cartoons, okay. If a cartoon is just done, some people are criticizing that a particular media should be closed down, or they are threatening with violence. Government has to give protection. That is positive liberty. By positive liberty, they will be ensuring freedom of speech and expression.
Okay, Ji. I have another question.
And understand this.
Okay.
Freedom is a bigger concept. Okay, and this liberty is subset of it. Okay, because your freedom can be curtailed by state, family, state, family, caste, religion. Okay, so all can curtail your freedom. So when state is also curtailing your liberty, okay, generally we can call it as curtailment of freedom of speech and expression. Okay, now when state curtails the freedom, we will have to say that the liberty is curtailed. Instead of using the word freedom, we have to use the word liberty. So why this differentiation is there in polity is because who is fully empowered to curtail your freedom? The state. Okay, government is having police with it. Government is having all powers with it, judiciary and other things and all. Okay, though they exercise enormous power, so there is always danger to your liberty. There is always danger to your freedom from state. That is why we use the term liberty in polity. Okay, so newspapers, they can use freedom because freedom is a wider concept. It covers even liberty.
Okay, now I can understand that, Ji. I have one more question. You said about one case, right? A husband and wife for the conversion in Supreme Court, that case. In that case, the second thing was about the conversion. The husband wanted the wife to convert so that he can marry. The court said that they cannot interfere since it is a personal choice. But here, one human being, one Indian is asking another person to convert. So how can we say that is personal? With an example, I would like to ask: if I have I own a private company. If I am going to employ certain people, I'm asking that people to convert to Hinduism or Islamism in order to give them the job. So can the Supreme Court say it is a personal choice? There is no use of violence here, so I am not going to interfere in that.
Yeah, it's a personal choice. personal
So I
choice.
can ask my employees to convert.
No, not like that. In case they're asking for no, in case if that is asked, okay, or I'll put it this way: there are institutions in Gujarat, okay, private companies which insist only Hindus will be employed. Muslims denied employment. Court cannot
Yeah,
interfere.
yeah.
Court cannot interfere because it is a private. See, some of the organizations even employ their own caste people only. They do not give jobs for other caste people. Now court cannot interfere and say job to. It comes under right to occupation. What business you should do, whom should be employed is complete discretion of the individual. State cannot interfere in it. Okay. But in case of this, that force that if you want to take this job, take the you have to convert to that religion. Okay. Like that, if a statement is made, nobody is going to make it open. If that statement is made, then that individual can go to the court of law. Okay. After all eligibility, okay,
Mhm.
if religion is used. But what will the management do? Management will not use the caste and religion name. They will say that this person is not suitable for the job. We are expecting other qualifications, not having necessary qualifications. Simple. The intention will be different. That is why for your thoughts and your thinking, you cannot punish a person. When you actually express it, then you can reasonably restrict it.
Gee, my question was if they are expressing, the company owner is expressing that need of a conversion, then it can be challenged in the court. Why it is not in the case of that husband and wife thing, that case?
Oh, I'm saying no. That is why they'll be not explicitly saying it. Okay. In case if they are doing it so far, uh, no case has been registered, and fundamental rights part says that only when state is doing that, state is involving in forceful conversion, okay, it will be a violation, and you can go to the High Court and the Supreme Court. In case of private forceful conversions, yes, you can go to the court of law, but at district court only. You can go to the lower court. You cannot claim it as a fundamental rights under liberty. It is an ordinary.
Okay, sure.
It is an ordinary case. It will not be treated as a fundamental right violation. So fundamental right violation,
Okay, sure.
liberty, you can directly go. And in case of that, men and women also know. Practically, if you think, if the husband is insisting that you have to forcefully convert, okay, yes, that women should go to the court of law and say that, see, I want to marry this fellow. Is saying marry, you have to convert. No women will go. If women is going, definitely the court is going to take up the case, but at the lower level, and then declare, okay, you should not be forcing the other person to take up the religion. The entire fundamental rights chapter and constitution is written in the context that state is powerful, so they may violate the rights. Okay, so individual issues, it is expected to be sought out by themselves. In case if it is coming explicitly, it will be treated as an ordinary case.
Okay, fine. Thank you. That was my time.
Fine. Yes. Any other doubts? 615. அப்படி கேக்குறாங்களா? Now doubt clarification. We'll move on to doubt clarification session. Yes. So many people have hand raised. I'll take question one by one. Okay. So we have done with justice part. Now discussion. Doubt clarification. Yes. 615.
Hello.
Yes.
So actually, I'm confused how this, so religion is a fundamental right. Like it's some, hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing. You are audible. Please.
So like if someone is forcing me to convert into their religion, it is actually a fundamental right. So I can either go to a Supreme Court or a High Court. But நீங்க இப்போ point சொன்னீங்கல்ல sir, like you're not supposed, புரியல அந்த point actually confused ஆகுதேன் sir. Hello.
எனக்கும் புரியல, மறுபடியும் கேளுங்க.
So, illa sir, like for example, if someone is forcing me to convert into their religion, so that is actually a fundamental right. So I can move either the Supreme Court nor the High Court. But if நீங்க previous person கிட்ட பேசும்போது சொன்னீங்க, if a state is forcing us to convert us into a different religion, we are supposed to go to her. Like அது புரியல அந்த point actually. Sir, if a state is forcing us to convert.
And now see, now we'll what we can do is we will wait for the Article 25. When Article 25 is coming, there we will be talking about right to propagation. There we will be detailedly talking about conversion. Okay, so as of now, we'll leave this. Okay, we'll just.
Sorry, one more doubt, sir. So, can you give me another example for negative liberty?
Negative liberty. Yes, newspaper editorials, no? Newspaper, there is no censorship. That is, if the Hindu newspaper wants to carry editorial, they can carry. The state is not having any censorship. Okay, it is there is no pre-censorship. State will not interfere. It will allow the newspapers to give their editorial, the content. That is negative liberty, meaning no action from the state.
Sir, but again comes under fundamental right now, sir, like right to freedom of expression, right to freedom of press.
Yeah, that is why I told you negative liberty and positive liberty is there. Where negative liberty is required, where positive liberty is required, will be decided by law. Parliament will decide, state will decide. In case if that is not there, clarity will be given by court of law. Okay, same. If you take the cinema has pre-censorship. Why cinema has to have pre-censorship? There's it can have a big impact on people, so they are having their restriction, reasonable restriction there. Okay, now I'll give another scenario. The state once taxed, okay, actually they taxed the newspapers, telling that for your advertisement and all you have to give tax. Okay. So what happened is the negative liberty was curtailed now. When state is asking for money from newspaper, what happens? Most of its revenue is taken. So the newspaper is not able to function properly. Okay. So now what happened? Wait. When what happened is the government declared after a case that we will not tax the newspapers. Why we will not tax the newspapers? So that newspapers can exercise their freedom of speech and expression. Now government is making a rule to allow the newspapers to exercise their freedom of speech and expression. That is positive liberty. So in same case, first government is not touching the newspaper, that is negative liberty. But something is done. Okay, after that, government is affecting the negative liberty. Now government is doing something else, it is positive liberty. There is one more thing. When government gives advertisement, government advertisement, like Prime Minister Modi is introducing this scheme, the Chief Minister is introducing this scheme, you will find that ad in all the newspapers. Have you noticed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is an example for positive liberty, because by giving advertisement to all the newspapers, you are giving revenue to all the newspapers. The newspapers can function with freedom of speech and expression. Since they have money, with that they can do quality journalism.
Okay.
In case of I'll repeat this for others. Negative liberty is, first, government is not doing anything. They are just watching. Okay, you do business, you give journalism, I'm not going to interfere in that. You can give editorials. Now government wants to allow all big newspapers, small newspapers, all to exercise their freedom of speech and expression. So when government is doing an action, it is giving an advertisement, it is giving to all the newspapers, including the smaller ones. Okay, so that a positive liberty is done. That is, government is doing some action which helps in exercise of freedom of speech and expression.
So
Okay.
negative liberty is not a negative thing. It's actually we are allowed to do it, but state doesn't get involved in it.
Yeah, that is why.
Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. In polity, whenever the word positive and negative is coming, we have to understand positive means action is there. Negative means action is not there.
Okay. So for positive, states get involved into our liberty. I mean there is interference of state, but for negative, state doesn't get involved in it.
Very good. Very good. That is the correct understanding.
Okay, sir. Now I'm clear, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Next. Supriyo.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I have a doubt. Doubt is that means suppose you might have heard about Naga saints, right? Naga saints, right? They don't wear clothes. To be very frank, Naga saints.
I'm not able to understand what you're saying. Naga people. You're talking about
Naga saints. Naga saints will be there, right, sir? There are certain category of saints
Okay.
who are not used to wearing clothes, right?
Yeah. I got it. Recently there was news also. Yes.
Yeah. So now my doubt is that means when they take processions out in normal public, okay, that
Okay.
is suppose they are taking processions out in normal public. So now that my doubt is it is hurting the morality of other sections also, right? Means in public means other sections of people are also living, right? So does the state impose reasonable restrictions on this movement?
Yes, they can. They can. Okay. But in case of that saints, no, they can go to the court of law telling that it is our practice of religion. Now, the court will see two things: whether it is an essential practice, point one. Second is whether it is hurting the overall order of the society. Okay. So, in this case, okay, they say right to practice of religion is subjected to morality. Okay. Morality is there.
Yes,
so based on that, a law can be made by the state and they can restrict. They can do it by law. They have to clearly define what is morality, what exact thing is being affected, and then they can restrict.
So right to movement and right to procession can be restricted on the basis of public morality, right? That's what I want.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Next. 6100.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have still doubt about freedom and liberty, sir. Is the liberty is given by the state?
Yeah, liberty is in relation with the state. See, choice of words. Liberty is your freedom exercised with respect to state. Okay, freedom you
Yes, sir.
exercise with all other institutions like family, caste, and other things are freedom. The freedom that you exercise in relation to the state is liberty.
ஓகே சார். சார் அப்போ நம்ம ஃப்ரீடம் ஆஃப் இந்தியா அப்படிங்கிறோம்ல சார், ஃப்ரீடம் வாங்கிட்டு அப்படிங்கிறோம்ல, அத நெகட்டிவ் லிபர்ட்டி ஆஃப் இந்தியா அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம் சார் பிரிட்டன்ல இருந்து.
அந்த ஃப்ரீடம் வேற. அது வந்து that is why polity we call it as independence. Okay, to differentiate between the freedom in the fundamental rights and the freedom in modern India, we should use the exact term independence. So in paper you use independence for that term. Independence is
அப்போ நம்ம வந்து சொல்லுங்க சார்.
இல்ல நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணும்போது இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணும் கிளாரிட்டி பர்பஸஸ்க்கு. அவங்க நியூஸ் பேப்பர்ல என்னன்னா எல்லாத்துக்கும் பொத்தாம்படுவா ஃப்ரீடம்ன்ற மாதிரி சொல்லிடுறாங்க. பட் இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ் வேற, ஃப்ரீடம் வேற, லிபர்ட்டி வேற, பாலிட்டி சப்ஜெக்ட். ஸோ பாலிட்டியில் கொஸ்டின் கேட்கும்போது இந்த டிஃபரன்ஷியேஷனை நீங்கள் கான்சன்ட்ரேட் பண்ணுங்க. மாடர்ன் ஹிஸ்ட்ரி எழுதும்போது இன்டர்சேஞ்சபிளாக நீங்கள் எழுதிக்கலாம். ஃப்ரீடம் ஆஃப் ஸ்ட்ரகிள் ஆஃப் இந்தியா அப்படின்ற மாதிரி எழுதிட்டிங்கன்னா அர்த்தம் கரெக்டாக இதாகிடும். ஸோ இது வந்து கான்டெக்சுவல் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் தான்.
சரி சார். சார் அப்போ ஸ்டேட்டே இல்லாத ஒருத்தங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு லிபர்ட்டியும் இருக்காது, அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஃப்ரீடம் இருக்காது அப்படியானே சார்?
ஃப்ரீடம் இருக்கும். ஓகே. ஆனா வந்து அந்த ஃப்ரீடம் என்ஃபோர்ஸ் பண்றதுக்கு ஸ்டேட் இல்லாதனால பாசிட்டிவ் லிபர்ட்டியும் கிடையாது,
ஃப்ரீடம் இருக்காது.
லிபர்ட்டின்ற கான்செப்டே கிடையாது. இன்ஃபேக்ட்
சார் ஃப்ரீடம்க்கு லீகல் ரைட் கொடுக்கிறது லிபர்ட்டி தானே சார்? அப்போ லிபர்ட்டி இல்லைன்னா ஃப்ரீடம் இருக்காது இல்ல?
ஒரே நிமிஷம். நம்ம இந்த கான்செப்ட் ஆஃப் லிபர்ட்டின்றதே எப்போ வருதுன்னா, ஸ்டேட்ன்ற ஒரு கண்ட்ரி வருது, கண்ட்ரிக்கு ஒரு கவர்மெண்ட் வருது, கவர்மெண்ட் வந்து நல்லா பவர்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கு, போலீஸ் இருக்கு கையில. ஸோ ஏதாவது ஒரு இண்டிவிஜுவல் வந்து அதை அஃபெக்ட் பண்ணிடக்கூடாது அப்படின்றனால தான் லிபர்ட்டி இந்த கான்செப்டே வருது. சரிங்களா? அப்போ வந்து ஸ்டேட் இல்லாத இடத்துல வந்து லிபர்ட்டி ஃப்ரீடம்க்கு இது இல்லை. ஏன்னா ஆல்ரெடி வி ஆர் ஃப்ரீ. ஃப்ரீடம்க்கு கர்டெயில் வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறமேட்டு தான் லிபர்ட்டி பத்தியே நம்ம பேசுவோம். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இந்த பெனிக்ஸ் கேஸ் இருக்குல்ல, 2 பெனிக்ஸ் ஜெயராஜ் கேஸ் இருக்குங்களா, வந்து போலீஸ்க்கு வந்து ஃபுல்லா பவர் கொடுத்துட்டனால என்ன ஆச்சு, அவங்க பாட்டு போய் மிரட்டி வயலன்ஸ் இன்வால்வ் ஆகி அவங்க இறந்தே போயிட்டாங்க. ஸோ ஸ்டேட்டுன்னு ஒன்று இருக்கும்போது அதுக்கு வயலன்ஸ்க்கான வாய்ப்பு இருக்கு. பீப்புளோட ஃப்ரீடமை அது கர்டெயில் பண்றதுக்கு அதுக்கு நிறைய பவர் இருக்கு. அப்போ அந்த பட்சத்துல தான் வந்து பாலிட்டியில லிபர்ட்டின்ற கான்செப்ட் கொண்டு வராங்க. கொண்டு வந்து ஃபண்டமெண்டல் ரைட்ஸ்லயும் லிபர்ட்டி வந்து இம்பார்ட்டன்டான பிளேஸ் வைக்கிறாங்க. ரீசன் என்ன அப்படின்னா, கவர்மெண்ட் பவரை எக்ஸஸா யூஸ் பண்ணிடக்கூடாது. ஸோ நம்ம லிபர்ட்டின்ற வார்த்தையே வந்து கவர்மெண்ட்ன்ற ஒரு கான்செப்ட் இருக்கனால தான், ஸ்டேட்ன்ற ஒரு கான்செப்ட் இருக்கனால தான். ஸோ ஸ்டேட் இல்லை, கண்ட்ரி இல்லைன்னு போது இந்த ப்ராப்ளமே இல்லை. லிபர்ட்டின்ற ஒரு விஷயத்தை டிஃபைன் பண்ணுன்ற அவசியமே இல்லை.
ஆனா அங்க ஃப்ரீடம் இருக்கும்.
ஆமா, நேச்சுரலா மேன் இஸ் பார்ன் ஃப்ரீ இல்லையா? ஏன்னா ஸ்டேட் இல்லைன்னு போது நீங்க வந்து உங்களை கான்ஸ்டைன் பண்றதுக்கு யாரும் இல்லைன்னு போது நீங்க ஃப்ரீ ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்லி.
சரி சார். சார் அப்புறம் டெமோக்ரஸில ஒன்று சொன்னீங்களா சார், பெனிஃபிட் ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி பர்டன் அப்படின்னு?
சொல்லுங்க.
ஹலோ
சொல்லுங்க
சார். அந்த அந்த 3 பசங்களையும் சொன்னீங்களா சார்? ஒரு பையன் வந்து போகிறான் அப்படிங்கிறப்போ அவனுக்கு வந்து இந்த படம் வந்து பார்க்க முடியாம போறது கொஞ்சம் பர்டனா இருக்குது. ஆனா அவன்கிட்ட காசு வாங்கிட்டு போனது ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டிக்காக அவன் போய் வாங்கிட்டு வந்துட்டான் சார். இவங்க 2 பேருக்கும் காசு கொடுத்தது ஒரு பர்டன் தான், ஆனா அவன் வாங்கிட்டு வந்தது ஒரு பெனிஃபிட். இத மாதிரி நம்ம கவர்மெண்ட்டுக்கு எப்படி சார் கனெக்ட் பண்றது? இந்த டெமோக்ரஸில சொன்னீங்களா சார், கவர்மெண்ட் பெனிஃபிட் ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி பர்டன்.
இப்போ the country has to be administered. சரிங்களா? நீங்க ஐஏஎஸ் ஆயிட்டீங்கன்னா 24/7 நீங்க ஐஏஎஸ். கொரோனா டைம்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா விடிய காலையில 8 மணியா இருந்தாலும் சரி, நைட்டு 12 மணியா இருந்தாலும் சரி, ஐஏஎஸ் ஆஃபீஸர்ஸ் வந்து ஃபீல்ட்ல போய் ஒர்க் பண்ணி ஆகணும். ஊட்டி ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் நீல்கிரிஸ் டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட்ல வந்து நிறைய கொரோனா ஸ்ப்ரெட் வந்தப்போ நீல்கிரிஸ் டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் கலெக்டர் வந்து கலெக்டர்ல அந்த இன்சார்ஜ் வந்து மேடம் சுப்ரீவா சாஹூ மேடம் வந்து ஐஏஎஸ் வந்து அப்பாயிண்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. நைட் 2 மணிக்கு செக் போஸ்ட்ல நிக்கிறாங்க. சரிங்களா? எதுக்கு அப்படின்னா அன்ஆத்தரைஸ்டு பர்சன்ஸை உள்ள விட்டுறக்கூடாது. ஏன்னா ஊர்ல இருக்க எல்லாருமே ஆல் ரிச் பீப்புள் ஆர் கோயிங் டு ஊட்டி. சரி, இந்த கொரோனா பீரியட் முடிகிற வரைக்கும் நம்ம அங்கே போய் இருக்கலாம்னு சொல்லி எல்லாருமே போறாங்க அங்க. ஸோ ஐஏஎஸ் ஆஃபீஸரே வந்து நேரில் நிற்கிறாரு. ஏன்னா ஸ்மால் டைம் ஆஃபீஸர்ஸை விடும்போது அவங்க நிறைய பேருக்கு காசு வாங்கிட்டு உள்ள விட்டுறாங்க இதுக்குள்ள டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட்குள்ள. இப்போ இது பேர்டனா இல்லையா, ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டியா இல்லையா? அவங்க வந்து அவ்வளோ மிட் நைட் வந்து as a woman she has to come and stand. Okay, it's a burden. They are taking a responsibility for the people's health. பீப்புளுக்கு கொரோனா வந்துடக்கூடாதுன்ற ஒரு ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி இருக்குது. அதே மாதிரி பெனிஃபிட் ஆஃப் கவர்மெண்ட்னு பார்க்கும்போது இதனால பெனிஃபிட் அடையிறது மக்கள். இது எல்லாத்துக்கும் போய் சேரணும், அதுதான் கான்செப்ட். ஸோ பொலிட்டிக்கல் டெமோக்ரஸி
இண்டிவிஜுவல்ல இருந்து
பொலிட்டீஷியன்ஸும் பேர்டன் எடுத்துக்கிறாங்க, ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி எடுத்துக்கிறாங்க, பீப்புளுக்கு பெனிஃபிட் போகுது. இந்த பொலிட்டீஷியனாகவும் ஐஏஎஸ் ஆகிறதுக்கும் எல்லாத்துக்கும் சான்ஸ் கொடுக்கணும். டெசிஷன் எடுக்கிறாங்கல்ல இவங்க பொலிட்டீஷியன்ஸும் ஐஏஎஸ் ஆஃபீஸர்ஸ், அது எல்லா மக்களுக்கும் சார்ந்ததாக இருக்கணும். அது பொலிட்டிக்கல் டெமோக்ரஸி.
சரி சார். சார் அப்புறம் உட்டோப்பியன் சொன்னீங்களா சார் இன்னைக்கு? அது என்ன சார் உட்டோப்பியன்? அதாவது
நிஜத்துல சாத்தியமில்லாத விஷயத்த உட்டோப்பியான்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. சாத்தியமில்லாத ஒரு சோஷியல் சிஸ்டம், நடக்க முடியாத ஒண்ணு, ஒரு ரொம்ப ஐடியலான ஒரு விஷயம்.
ஓகே சார், தேங்க்யூ சார்.
அடுத்து
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, my doubt is about freedom of speech and expression or the code of conduct with regard to government servants. I'm not, of course, there are certain exceptions like those are holding defense or security informations. We should not publish on social media, or we should not discuss about that. But sir, what is the freedom of a government servant or a civil servant with respect to criticizing a government policy or pointing out the flaws in the government? So can you please explain on that?
They are part of the government. They have a mechanism to raise grievances within the government. They should not do it in the media. Okay, they're the face of the government, right? And ethically it is wrong also when you are thinking that the government's decision is wrong. Okay, as long as you are inside the government, you have to pass on your grievances through the government. Okay.
No, sir. While he's a government servant, he's also an individual. No, sir. He will be having his own ideas. So, what about that, sir?
Reasonable. It is a reasonable restriction for the smooth administration for the larger benefit of the society. Okay, the bureaucrat freedom of speech and expression can be restricted. Yes, he is an individual. Okay, but if you allow the individual to express his opinion, then that will result in the political instability. Supposing a large number of IAS, IPS officers are critical about the government and they are expressing their views, that can result in revolution in the society. Then constitution itself will be breakdown. Okay, so as long as you're part, okay, of the government, you cannot your expression can be restricted. You can have your opinion, you can think, okay, your thought process government will not touch, but expression can be stopped.
Okay, sir. Then what about civil servants? Is there any code of conduct like taking part in some religious ceremonies or something like? For example, we have seen these ashrams like Sri Ravi Shankar, or they are running a function that can a civil servant take part in that? What is the code of conduct for them, sir?
See, there is no restriction for the civil servant to practice the religion. Okay, he cannot freely express opinion related to government, but all other things they can freely express their opinion. Okay, for example, related to religion, their personal opinions about say cinema, culture, okay, those things they can be publishing. They are restrained by the government not to criticize the government in the social media or in media. That's all. Okay, and at the same time participating in religious function also they are not refrained from. They are human beings, they are also individuals, they can practice their religion. Okay, but however ethically they are saying that endorsing a religion in public is not good.
Okay, sir.
There is no
Okay,
code of
thank you, sir. Sir,
the general ethics they say, some people say is it is better the bureaucrats refrain from attending religious functions because that will show them in a bad light.
okay,
Yes.
sir. Okay, sir. Earlier you referred to an example, no, sir, from Gandhiji's words. Sir, weren't you talking about Gandhiji's talisman?
Yes, the same thing. Gandhiji's talisman only.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding the natural inequality and social inequality, sir. I want to say an example. Consider a sports person and his son or daughter has a more chance to become a sports person, sir. So it will consider as a natural inequality or a social inequality, sir. I have a doubt regarding that, sir.
Yeah. There is a sports person. If his son is also eligible, is talented, is natural inequality. Okay, so he can be eligible to take part in the sports. But just because he is son of a sports person, he is getting a chance, then it is social inequality. It's not natural.
Okay, sir.
Okay, because
okay, sir. Understood.
Yeah.
But actually, my doubt is the son of the sports person has has more opportunity to take part in the that sports means it will consider as a social
inequality. When a common man cannot do that, If just because of the privilege of being son of a sportsman, one is able to get opportunity, then it is social inequality. That is injustice. Just because of the connections, if he's entering, it is inequality. If that person also has the physical ability and to perform in the sport, then he gets into, then that is justice. That is why we are saying in cricket, I know that you are referring to cricket only. Okay, when
Yes, sir.
sons and daughters or sons of very famous cricket players are given a chance, they say it is injustice done because that place should have been filled by somebody else. They have been given just because of their privilege. That is social injustice. That's social inequality.
Okay, sir. Sir, my second doubt is regarding negative liberty and positive liberty, sir. Actually, what I understand is a negative liberty can be a liberty or it can be a freedom. When it comes to positive liberty, means it's talking about only freedom. Like that I have to understand, sir. It is correct, sir. Actually,
No. That is say positive liberty leads to freedom, which means when government takes some action, it positive liberty, and that actually helps in exercising the freedom. And freedom is overall, as I told to the other person, Pavitran, I explained, freedom is a holistic concept, freedom from everything. Whereas liberty is in relation to state. It's state only.
okay, sir.
See,
Okay,
now
sir.
I'm speaking, right? See, now I'm speaking, no?
Yes, sir.
Government is not stopping me from taking class, okay? So I can call it as liberty. Now you are also allowing me to speak. My family is also allowing me to speak. Okay, my caste and my religion does not ban me from taking class for UPSC aspirants. So I have the freedom to take class. Okay, so I can say I'm exercising freedom to take class because society, family, my religion, nobody is stopping me. I'm free to do what I want. Okay, within freedom, state is also there. Okay, leave family, caste, and state also can come and stop you from exercising my freedom. Can tell that no, you are not free to take class. When state is coming and doing that, instead of using that state is curtailing freedom, we'll use the word curtailment of liberty. You may ask, sir, in newspaper they are using curtailment of freedom only. That is because they are interchangeably using the word freedom and liberty. But in polity subject, when you take up UPSC examination, prelims examination, liberty is related to state. Okay, freedom is related to every other thing.
Okay, sir. So the positive liberty means to ensure the liberty which has given to the people, which leads to the freedom. Like that, I can take it.
Yes.
Okay,
Supposing suddenly some 2-3 people come inside the class. They are saying that Satyapal, you should not take class. Like that, they are threatening me. Okay. So now I told you I was exercising my freedom because society is not constraining me. I'm also exercising my liberty because government has not passed any order to stop me from taking class. Okay, but if somebody is coming, society is coming and blocking me to exercise my freedom, okay, they're saying don't take class, now government will provide security to me. So when government provides security to me, it becomes positive liberty.
Okay,
So
sir.
we are relating that positive liberty allows us to exercise the freedom.
Okay, sir. Sir,
See, it is eventual, one by one. First, I'm free to do something. Somebody is coming and curtailing my freedom. When somebody is coming and curtailing my freedom, government is coming and supporting me to exercise the freedom. That is what we call it as positive liberty. Negative liberty is normally I'm exercising freedom. When I'm referring to society, I'll say I'm exercising freedom. When I'm saying that government is not stopping me from doing what I want, I'll say it is liberty. Okay, usage of words in the appropriate place. That's all.
Okay, sir. Sir, whether we consider as a belief as a negative liberty or positive liberty, sir? Belief.
It can be both negative
as
as positive.
Okay, sir. But no, the liberty of thought is actually a negative liberty only, no, sir.
liberty of,
government can't able to thoughts.
yes, because government is taking action to facilitate your thought.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. That's my question, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Sir, my doubt is regarding sovereignty, sir. Sir, you said that externally independent and internally supreme means sovereign, sir. So, in the current scenario, no country can be externally independent because they are being enforced upon various regulations by various international organizations. So, does that mean India loses sovereignty, sir? Because it has to take a decision based on the global order. But if we compare North Korea, they are not obeying the international regulations. So, does that mean they are more sovereign than us, sir?
Okay. See, sovereignty is not, saying no. Sovereignty is also saying yes. You must understand. Okay, so when international institutions are giving some suggestion, sovereignty is you can either say yes, either say no. But while deciding yes or no, you will decide it based on your national interest. Now, North Korea is deciding no in its national interest. India, in most cases, deciding yes for international decisions based on our needs. We feel that it is good for our country. There are many, there are some examples in which we have said no also in order to protect our interest. Okay, so sovereignty is saying both yes and no.
Sir, and my next doubt is, sir, reasonable restriction is that no, sir. Sir, in Jammu and Kashmir, they are imposing curbs on 4G restriction. They are saying that is for terror activities prevention. But at the same time, the education is also being spoiled because of the 2G speed. So reasonable restriction is both a plus as well as a minus, no, sir. So can you elaborate on that, sir?
It depends upon the context. Okay, so reasonable restriction sometimes may be unreasonable also. That is where we have court of law. When a particular incident, the government tries to impose a restriction, whether that is a reasonable restriction or not, court will decide. So now people of Jammu and Kashmir should file a case in the court of law, and if it is excess, the judiciary will say that your restriction is unreasonable. It is up to
Sir, yes. Okay. Sir, and my last doubt is, sir, the Sabarimala issue, when Supreme Court gave a judgment that women are allowed into the Sabarimala, there were some section of people who are respecting the religious sentiments of the temple, sir. So, if the Supreme Court intervenes and gives some amount of freedom to a particular section, at the same time, those we have been respecting the religious sentiments would be affected, no, sir. So, does that mean Supreme Court does not care about the other sections, sir?
No. See, a judgment should be either one side or the side. For example, Ayodhya case once again. Okay, Ram Mandir temple. The Ayodhya case is in favor of Hindus. Okay, so we cannot say that the court are not considered Muslims. After considering weighing both parties, the court has decided that the Hindu should be given permission to build a Ram Mandir there. Likewise, after analyzing the both sides' claim according to the constitution, interpretation of the constitution, judiciary is saying, people should be allowed entry into the temple. Women should be allowed entry into the Sabarimala temple. So in this case, they have considered the opposite's view, and they think that the view which has been approved by the court of law is an appropriate view according to the constitution. Okay, so society goes like this. Everybody will have an opinion. In one case, you will say one is the freedom of expression, one is the reasonable restriction. The other person will come and say, no, it is not reasonable, it is unreasonable. So finally, court will decide whether it is a appropriate restriction, reasonable restriction or not. Got it?
Thank you, sir.
Okay. In the mains examination, you stick with the court's pronouncement usually.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yes,
Good
yes.
afternoon, sir. Sir, I have a doubt regarding communism. That is, in Switzerland, they take a decision based on referendum, right? So can that be considered as communism?
in case of communism, no, it is a holistic concept. Not only political, economic system also will be common. Meaning the means of production, no, whatever is there, the resources of the country will be commonly owned. But in Switzerland, private property is there, and Switzerland is known for banking sector, right, and shares in it and all. So a communist society will have, everything in common. Okay, the means of production, whatever mechanism is there, it will be owned by people collectively. So political, this in Switzerland, going for referendum can be called as direct democracy. Okay, it cannot be called as communism. Communism is where both political as well as economic, everything will be common. All people will be involved.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So another doubt is regarding the same Jammu and Kashmir issue. So it is a social injustice, right? So can court take decisions on its own, like without people going and filing a complaint?
Yeah, possibility is there. So moto, because it's a fundamental right violation. If the court feels that it is a social injustice, the court feels, underline the word feels, okay, then the court can go for suo moto. It can go. But as of now, the Supreme Court itself is feeling, government should be given enough time to make necessary action. Okay, so judiciary is refraining from taking the case.
So it's been 1 year, right, sir? So it is a high case of social injustice, right?
In your viewpoint of view, there is another point of view. They're saying that 1 year is not enough time to root out terrorism. Terrorism is a problem that initiated in the 1980s, okay, in Jammu and Kashmir, and it is being constantly used as a state policy by Pakistan. So 1 year is not enough time to root out the terrorists and militants. This is another view. Okay, you can have your own opinion. Okay. So now,
sir, in editorials I saw that there is provisions of restraining to some kind of websites, so they could do like that. No need of cutting whole this 4G. Is
yes,
there anything
it should be
linked to
contested.
that?
That is a valid point. That is a valid point. Okay, so what you can do is, okay, you can, in mains exam, if this question is arised, you can say that terrorism at the one side, it should be rooted out. This side, national security is there, and this side, people's freedom is also existing. So instead of a lockdown for a continuous period of time, we can opt for a minimal intervention from the state. Okay, or block only certain websites, or filtering mechanism can be done, or you can check for high internet traffic. Okay, and check those places what is happening. If it is education activities happening, is fine. For other activities, you can easily identify. Okay, so that can be given as a solution. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
See, simple. Whenever they're asking an issue, agree that there is a problem. Then, if you agree that the problem is there, give solution. Then the answer will be over. Outrightly denying that there is no problem, or we have to go for outright thing, that will be a very artificial answer. Okay, so orient all your preparation to examination. Now whenever you read editorials, the thinking should be what I'm going to write in the mains paper. Okay, so if this Jammu and Kashmir issue is going, this should be my conclusion. Conclusion is state needs more time for containing terrorism. So the block can continue with some restrictions.
Sir,
Don't
good afternoon,
like
sir.
One thing, guys, you must remember, if you are writing like activists, there will be a problem. Say, for example, if you're saying that there must be complete freedom of internet, or freedom of speech and expression, freedom of movement in Jammu and Kashmir, government cannot intervene at all, no reasonable restriction. That also will not be accepted. Okay, yes. Somebody.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Sir, I'm Revati, sir.
Yes, Revati.
Sir, when you talked about communism, you mentioned that means of production owned by community. So when I heard that, suddenly the concept of cooperative society popped up in my mind. Does it coincide, sir, the principles?
No, as I told you, communist society politically as well as economically decentralized. Cooperative
Okay.
societies, like cooperative societies is
Sir,
commonly, but that cooperative society is regulated by government. We have state. Okay, so just part of the society is like
okay.
that, not the entire society. Okay, we
Okay.
can say it as a spirit of communism can be seen in cooperative societies, but it is not exactly communism. Communism means the entire society should act in such way. Okay, all like cooperative societies, and there should not be state also. Okay.
Okay.
But the
Okay.
concept
Okay,
of
sir.
cooperative society is inspired by communism and socialism.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. I got it, sir. Sir, next one about liberty and freedom, sir. Sir, can I tell like that freedom, liberty is a kind of freedom. Can I tell like that?
Yeah, you are correct. I draw a diagram, right? The
Yes, yes,
overall
yes.
wider to is freedom. Within that, liberty is one concept. Okay.
Okay, the freedom, uh, uh,
Freedom with
freedom
respect to status.
status. Okay, fine, fine, sir. And next is about, sir, I about Hindu Secession Act. Can I ask about it, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, in that law, it is told that it is a inherited property of the father. So I have a doubt regarding that inherited property, sir. What came into my mind is the property of father can be divided into two. One is inherited property, and other one is the property earned by him during his lifetime. Uh, inherited property means ancestral property. Uh, that should all the children should have equal right on that. The property that is earned by the father during his lifetime, that it's his will and wish, whom should he give. Is it like that, sir? That's what came into my mind.
Yeah, it is correct. What your understanding is correct. Okay, inherited property,
Okay.
ancestral property, automatically the equal share. The father cannot distribute in a differential manner, but his own income, that he can decide whom to give what. Okay, there
Okay.
the court cannot interfere and say that you have to give equally. Okay,
Okay. Sir,
don't demand to your father any property.
sir, sir, again once, sir, when I heard about this Hindu Secession Act, when there is a when universal uniform civil code, no, sir. When it is coming to coming to practice, will there be any change in this Hindu Secession Act and all?
Actually, the Hindu Succession Act is the most progressive one. So, in compared to this, the acts in other religions, that are backward. So, we will expect that should be changed in the model of Hindu succession. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay,
So,
sir.
this is the model for the UCC actually.
Okay, 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 okay. I got it, sir.
So,
Sir,
change will be in
then
other.
Sir, sir.
Yeah, change will be in other religious acts like property related acts for Muslims and Christians. That may change.
Okay, 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 sir. Sir, then the third thing I noticed in newspaper about the Enrica Lexi case, sir. Recently, there was a judgment from the International Court. After that judgment, Supreme Court has made a statement that Supreme Court is accepting and abiding to that judgment. When I thought in the sense of the sovereignty, I got two aspects. One is we are we are influenced by, because our national interest is that the Italian Marine should be prosecuted in the court of India. So in that case, with this judgment, it's our judiciary is influenced by an external factor. but that was the one thought I came to mind. Then again I thought, if we are not accepting it, we will be isolated in the global community, and that will affect our other aspects, like our interest in the um, interest in the some field. And at the end of the day, some of the rights will not be accepted in our global community, and some of the national interest will not be fulfilled in the uh,
That
in the
itself is a
global
national
community.
interest. Your second opinion is correct. Your second opinion is
Okay.
you are saying that in the interest to have a good image in the global level, okay, to be a world leader, we are accepting certain international decision. That trying to be a world leader itself is India's interest, national interest. So they are weighing two national interests. One national interest is to try the Italian Marines in the Enrica Lexi case in Kerala High Court.
Okay.
The other interest is global image. We think that this is more weightage, so the Supreme Court accepts it. Okay, so now here once again we are accepting because of our national interest, so sovereignty is still there. You political science students will argue the other way, what you said. There is no real sovereignty, we are influenced. But in GS paper, you write sovereignty is relevant because in the interest of our India, we accept international decisions, so that when a favorable decision is coming for India, we can ask other countries to follow it.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Next. Discussion.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Please proceed.
So good afternoon, sir. Sir, 9th schedule use பண்ணி judicial justice deny பண்ண chance இருக்குல்ல சார்?
கேஸ் பொறுத்து நீங்க எந்த கேஸ் வச்சு சொல்றீங்கன்னு தெரியலையே.
சார் இப்ப சப்போஸ் ரிசர்வேஷன் எடுத்துக்கோங்க சார். சப்போஸ் தமிழ்நாட்டுல அக்செப்ட் பண்றாங்க. அதே மாதிரி எல்லா ஸ்டேட்டும் அந்த மாதிரி அவங்க ஸ்டேட்டுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி ரிசர்வேஷன் இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணா அந்த 50% அந்த லேயரை பிரீச் பண்ண சான்ஸ் இருக்குல்ல சார்? ஸோ
சான்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஆனா கோர்ட் ஒன்று சொல்லிட்டாங்க, நீங்க 9th ஷெட்யூல்ல ஒரு லா போட்டாலும் அது வந்து பேசிக் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் டாக்டரைனை அஃபெக்ட் பண்ணுது அப்படின்னா நாங்க அதை எடுத்துக்குவோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ரிசர்வேஷன் ஈக்குவாலிட்டியில நீங்க 50% மேல கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா ரைட் ஈக்குவாலிட்டியை அஃபெக்ட் பண்ணுது. ஸோ அதை எடுத்துக்குவாங்க, கேஸ் எடுத்துக்குவாங்க. அந்த பர்டிகுலர் ஸ்டேட்டுக்கு அது தேவைதானு முடிவெடுக்கும் ஜுடிஷியரி.
ஆமா சார், கோர்ட் வந்து 4 ஆர்டிகல்ஸ் தான் சொல்லிருக்காங்க, 14, 15, 19, 21. ஸோ மிச்ச ஃபண்டமெண்டல் ரைட்ஸை வயலேட் பண்ணாலும் அதை சப்போஸ் கவர்மெண்ட் வந்து 9th ஷெட்யூல் அந்த ஆர்டிகல் போட்டா அப்ப அது வந்து ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் கம்யூனிட்டியை ஃபேவர் பண்ற மாதிரி தானே இருக்கும், பர்டிகுலர் செக்ஷன் ஆஃப் பீப்புள்.
அதான் நீங்களே சொல்லிட்டீங்களே 14 வயலேட் பண்ணுது ரைட் ஈக்குவாலிட்டியை. நீங்க
ஒரு சப்போஸ் 25 ஆர்டிகல் 25 யூஸ் பண்ணி அவங்க பண்ணாங்கன்னா அது ஜுடிஷியல் ரிவ்யூ வராதுல்ல சார்?
வராது. அப்போ 9th ஷெட்யூல்ல போட்டாங்கன்னா வராது.
ஸோ அப்போ அது இப்போ ஆக்சுவலாக இப்போ நிறைய கிட்டத்தட்ட 250 ப்ளஸ் லாஸ் அதில் வச்சிருக்காங்க சார். ஸோ அது ஈக்குவாலிட்டியை வந்து இதாகும்ல சார்? ஸோ ஐ மீன் ஓவரால் கான்டெக்ஸ்டை பார்க்கும்போது ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் இதை ஃபேவர் பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்கும்.
இல்லை, ஈக்குவாலிட்டியை டச் பண்ணுச்சுன்னா நம்ம கேஸ் ஃபைல் பண்ணலாம். இருக்கிற 250 லாஸ் வந்து லெஜிஸ்லேச்சரும் சரி, கவர்மெண்ட்டும் சரி, ஜுடிஷியரியும் என்ன ஒத்துக்கிறாங்கன்னா அந்த 257 லாவும் வந்து ரைட் டு ஈக்குவாலிட்டியை டச் பண்றதுலன்னு ஃபீல் பண்றாங்க.
அப்ப ஜஸ்டிஸ் டினை ஆகலைன்னு சொல்லலாமா சார்? ஸோ எல்லாமே அந்த 250 லாஸ்மே கரெக்டான அந்த 4 ஆர்டிகல்ஸ்குள்ள.
அதனாலதான் யாரும் கேஸ் ஃபைல் பண்ணல. அதுல ஏதாவது பிரச்சனை இருந்துச்சுன்னா மக்களுக்கு ஃபைல் பண்ணிருப்பாங்க. ஸோ இது இந்தியன் இதுல அது நியாயமானதுன்னு எல்லாம் வந்து ஒத்துக்கிறாங்க. அதனாலதான் இந்த 250 லா இருக்கு. ஸோ
கவர்மெண்ட் அதுல எதுவும் மேனிபுலேட் பண்ண சான்ஸ் இல்லையா சார்? அப்ப சப்போஸ் மெஜாரிட்டி வச்சு அவங்க மேனிபுலேட் பண்ண சான்ஸ் இருக்கா இல்லையா சார்?
இன் ஃபியூச்சர்ல அதுக்கு வாய்ப்புகள் இருக்கு, கண்டிப்பா இருக்கு. மெஜாரிட்டி ப்ரூட் மெஜாரிட்டியில என்ன வேணாலும் பண்ணலாம். ஏன்னா வந்து கான்ஸ்டியூஷன் படி உங்களுக்கு இவ்வளவு நம்பர்ஸ் இருந்துச்சுன்னா நீங்க கான்ஸ்டியூஷனே கூட மாத்தலாம். ஸோ வி வில் பி சீயிங் ஃபியூச்சர் கிளாஸ்ல நிறைய மெஜாரிட்டி இருக்கும்போது ஈவன் கான்ஸ்டியூஷனே அப்செக்ட். பட் அக்செப்டன்ஸ்ன்ற ஒரு ஃபேக்டர் இருக்கு பாலிட்டியில, மக்கள் ஒத்துக்கணும்ல. இப்போ அயோத்தியா ஜட்மெண்ட் அலகாபாத்ல கொடுத்தப்போ முஸ்லிம்ஸ் ஒத்துக்கல. இந்த டைம் ஜட்மெண்ட் வந்தப்போ கொஞ்சம் சைலண்டா இருந்துட்டாங்க. ஸோ அதனால ராம் மந்திர் பில் பண்றது ஈஸி ஆயிடுச்சு. இதே அவங்க வந்து அக்செப்ட் பண்ணாம உடனே ரிட்ட பெட்டிஷனை போட்டு பெரிய ஆர்ப்பாட்டம் பண்ணி இதெல்லாம் பண்ணியிருந்தாங்கன்னா மறுபடியும் போஸ்ட் பண்ணிருக்கோம் கேஸ்.
ஸோ பாஸ்ட்ல இந்த மாதிரி எந்த வயலேஷன் கவர்மெண்ட் பண்ணலையா சார்? அப்ப இந்த மாதிரி 31B போட்டு
நிறைய வயலேஷன்ஸ் நடந்திருக்கு, நிறைய நடந்திருக்கு. நிறைய கேஸ் கோர்ட்ல கண்டெஸ்ட் ஆகி கோர்ட் வந்து ஒரு சில லாஸ் நல்லிஃபை பண்ணியிருக்கு, ஒரு சில லாவை அலோவ் பண்ணியிருக்கு. ஸோ ஆஸ் ஆஃப் நோ இருக்கிற லாஸ் எல்லாமே ஒன்று கோர்ட் ஒத்துக்கிட்டது, இன்னொன்று யாரும் கண்டெஸ்ட் பண்ணல, கோர்ட் வந்து நல்லிஃபை பண்ணாத லாஸ் தான் இருக்கு.
சார் இன்னொரு டவுட் வந்து சப்போஸ் இப்போ ஜஸ்டிஸ் இப்போ ஜுடிஷியரியே அவங்களுக்கு ஃபேவரபுள், இப்போ சப்போஸ் என்ஜாக் இருக்குல்ல சார், என்ஜாக் வந்து அவங்களே நல்லிஃபை பண்ணிட்டாங்க கவர்மெண்ட் கொண்டு வந்தது, அப்போ ஜுடிஷியரியே அப்போ அவங்களுக்கு ஃபேவரா நடந்துக்கிட்டாங்கன்னு சொல்லலாமா சார்?
இது வந்து மெயின்ஸ் பெர்ஸ்பெக்டிவ்ல நீங்க வந்து ஒப்பீனியன் கேட்டீங்கன்னு வைங்களேன், எனக்கு ஒரு ஒப்பீனியன் இருக்கும், உங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஒப்பீனியன் இருக்கும். என்ன கேட்டிங்கன்னா என்ஜாக் ஸ்கிராப் பண்ணது தப்பு அப்படின்னு நான் சொல்லுவேன். இன்னொரு ஒரு பர்சனை கேட்டிங்கன்னா என்ஜாக் வந்து ஸ்கிராப் பண்ணது கரெக்ட் தான், ஏன்னா ஜுடிஷியரோட இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸை கர்டைல் பண்ணதுன்னு ஒரு அட்வொகேட்ஸாக அவங்க வந்து இது பண்ணலாம். ஸோ இண்டிவிஜுவல் ஒப்பீனியன் நம்ம இப்போ எப்படி யோசிக்கணும்னா, மெயின்ஸ் எக்ஸாமில் எப்படி எழுதுறது, மெயின்ஸ் எக்ஸாம் எழுதும் போது ஜுடிஷியரியில் அக்கௌண்டபிலிட்டி வேணும், சரிங்களா? இப்போ அக்கௌண்டபிலிட்டி வேணும் அப்படின்னா அப்பாயின்மெண்ட் ப்ராசஸில் வந்து இப்போ இருக்க கொலேஜியம் சிஸ்டம் எஃபிஷியன்ட் இல்லை, அப்போது நம்ம சேஞ்ச் பண்ணணும் அதை. அப்போ சேஞ்ச் பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னா இப்போ என்ஜாக்கு வந்து அவங்க நல்லிஃபை பண்ணது தப்பு, அவங்க வந்து என்ஜாக்கு வந்து இன்னும் கொஞ்ச நாள் இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணி அதுக்கப்புறம் அது பிரச்சனையாக இருந்தால் அதை ஸ்கிராப் பண்ணியிருக்கலாம். குழந்தையே பிறகுல வந்து கெட்ட குழந்தைன்னு சொல்ல முடியாதுல்ல. அதான் என்ஜாக்கு
ஜஸ்டிஃபை பண்ணலாம்ல சார்?
பண்ணலாம். இன்னொன்று நீங்க வந்து எக்ஸிக்யூட்டிவ்க்கும் ஜுடிஷியரிக்கும் இருக்க பெரிய சண்டையே வந்து அதுதான் என்ஜாக்கு. ஸோ நீங்க வந்து எக்ஸிக்யூட்டிவ் சைட்ல இருந்து பேசலாம், நீங்க ஃபியூச்சர் பியூரோக்ராட் இல்லை அப்படி மைண்ட்ல வச்சுட்டு அந்த பெர்ஸ்பெக்டிவ் எழுதும் போது எப்படி எழுதுனா ஜுடிஷியரி வந்து இதை பண்ணது வந்து தப்பு அப்படின்றத கிரிட்டிசைஸ் பண்ணலாம்.
ஓகே சார், தேங்க்யூ சார்.
நீங்க ஜெனரல் அட்மினிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் பெர்ஸ்பெக்டிவ்ல எடுத்துட்டு போயிடுங்க, அவ்வளவுதான்.
ஓகே சார்.
அதான் எப்போதும் என்னன்னா, நான் இப்படி யோசிக்கிறேன்னு சொல்லாம நாட்டுக்கு இது நல்லது, நாட்டுக்கு இது நல்லது இல்லை அப்படி ஆன்சர்ஸை கொண்டு போயிட்டீங்கன்னா ரொம்ப சேஃப். என்ஜாக் ஸ்கிராப் பண்ணது ஜுடிஷியரி பண்ண தப்பு, ஏன்னா நாட்டுக்கு அது நல்லது இல்லை, ஏன்னா ஜுடிஷியரி அப்பாயின்ட் பண்றாங்க அப்படின்ற மாதிரி எடுத்துட்டு போயிடுங்க.
ஹலோ சார்.
எஸ் எஸ்.
ஹலோ
எஸ் ப்ளீஸ்
சார். எனக்கு லக்ஷ்மிகாந்த் புக் சார், லக்ஷ்மிகாந்த் புக்ல வந்து ஒரு 2 டவுட் இருக்கு சார். இந்த ஆர்டிகல் 105 ஆர்டிகல் 194 வந்து ஆன்டி டிஃபெக்ஷன் லாவோட கான்ட்ரவர்சியா இருக்குல்ல சார், அது டவுட்டா இருக்கு சார்.
ஆர்டிகல் 105
and 194
பார்லிமெண்டரி லெஜிஸ்லேட்டிவ் பிரிவிலேஜ்.
எஸ் சார், பார்லிமெண்ட் மெம்பர்ஸ் அண்ட் லெஜிஸ்லேட்டிவ் மெம்பர்ஸ்.
அது பத்தி கிளாஸ்ல டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணுங்க.
இந்த 105 and 194 வந்து ஓகே சார்.
பார்லிமெண்டரி பிரிவிலேஜஸ் வரும்போது அதை டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணுவோம் கண்டிப்பா
சார். அப்போ முன்னாடி கேட்ட ஒருத்தவங்க வந்து 69% ரிசர்வேஷன் தமிழ்நாடு சொல்லிருந்தாங்க சார். அது வந்து சார் அப்புறம் முன்னாடி இப்போ ஒருத்தவங்க வந்து அந்த 69% ரிசர்வேஷன் பத்தி கேட்டிருந்தாங்க சார்.
ஆமா சொல்லுங்க சொல்லுங்க.
அது வந்து தமிழ்நாடு ரிசர்வேஷன் ஆக்ட்னு சொல்லி 1994 தமிழ்நாடு ரிசர்வேஷன் ஆக்ட் 1994 ஒன்று பாஸ் பண்ணாங்க சார்.
ஆமா.
ஸோ அப்போ அது வந்து அன்லாஃபுல்லா இருக்காது சார். அப்போ அவங்க வந்து அன்லாஃபுல்
அந்த 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 பர்டிகுலர் லாவை கோர்ட்ல கேஸ் போட்டு 2010 என்ன அனௌன்ஸ் பண்றாங்கன்னா தமிழ்நாடு 69% வச்சுக்கலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அனௌன்ஸ் பண்ணிட்டாங்க சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட்டு. ஸோ இப்போ அது லாஃபுல் ஆயிடுச்சு, சரிங்களா? அதுக்கப்புறம் மறுபடியும் இப்போ கேஸ் ஃபைல் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. எப்போ 2017 என்னன்னா இல்லை அது வந்து வயலேட்டிவா இருக்கு ஆர்டிகல் 14 அப்படின்னு மறுபடியும் ஜுடிஷியரி வந்து கன்சிடர் பண்ணுது. இன்ஃபேக்ட் இந்த இந்து சக்சேஷன் ஆக்ட் இருக்கு இல்லையா, ரீசெண்ட் ஆர்டர் வந்துச்சு இல்லையா, 2005 அதே தான் சொன்னாங்க, சம உரிமை இருக்கு சொத்துல அப்படின்னு சொல்லி, பெண்களுக்கு சம உரிமை இருக்குன்னு 2009 இந்து சக்சேஷன் ஆக்ட் 1954 அப்பதுலேருந்தே ஜட்மெண்ட் வந்துருச்சு. இது பாலிட்டியில் என்னன்னா எல்லா குரூப்பும் அக்செப்ட் பண்ற வரைக்கும் திருப்பி திருப்பி இது அன்லாஃபுல்லான்னு கண்டெஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டே இருப்பாங்க, அதுக்கு ஸ்கோப் இருக்கு. ஸோ இப்போ ஜுடிஷியரி சொல்லி ஒத்துக்கிட்டாங்கன்னா அது முடிஞ்சிடும், அவ்வளோதான். ஓகே, ஸோ இது அன்லாஃபுல்லா இல்லையா அப்படின்றத உங்களுக்கு மெயின்ஸ்ல கொஸ்டின் கேட்டானா நீங்க கான்ஸ்டிடியூஷனல் ப்ரொவிஷன்ஸ் படி போயிடுங்க. தமிழ்நாட்டில் வந்து அது எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுவேன், ஆர்டிகல் 16 வரும்போது ஏன் நமக்கு வந்து 69% ஜஸ்டிஃபை பண்றாங்க அப்படின்னு. ஸோ அது காரணமா காட்டி நீங்க எக்ஸ்பிளேஷன் கொடுக்கலாம். Some states are exempted, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Northeast states, because the backward population is higher there. கோர்ட்டோட ஜட்ஜ்மெண்ட்டே நான் கோட் பண்ணேன்.
சார் அப்புறம் லட்சுமிகாந்த் புக்ல வந்து ஒரு டேபிள் ஒவ்வொரு அந்த புக்ல வந்து டேபிள் ஆஃப் கண்டென்ட்ஸ் லெசன் நடுப்பு இருக்கு சார், அதெல்லாம் தேவையா சார்?
தேவையில்ல.
புக்ல அந்த ஒரு லெசன் நடுப்பு ஒரு டேபிள் ஆஃப் கண்டென்ட்ஸ்லாம் இருக்குல்ல சார், அதெல்லாம் கோ த்ரூ பண்ணுமா தேவை?
ஒரு டைம் எது கோ த்ரூ பண்ணுங்க, உங்களுக்கு கிளாரிஃபிகேஷன் பர்பஸ்க்காக தான் இந்த டேபிள். இப்போ நம்ம கிளாஸ்லயே வந்து நான் அந்த டெக்னிக் ஹேண்டில் பண்ணேன். இப்போ ஒரு கான்செப்ட் சொல்லிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் அந்த டேபிள் காலமா கம்பேரிட்டிவா போடும்போது இன்னும் கிளாரிட்டி கிடைக்கும். அதுக்காக தான் வந்து லக்ஷ்மிகாந்த்ல ஒவ்வொரு கண்டென்ட் முடிய டேபிளர் காலம் இருக்கும். ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் ரீட் பண்ணும்போது அதை ரீட் பண்ணுங்க. பண்ணிட்டு என்ன இன்ஃபர் பண்றீங்களோ அதை வந்து சின்னதாக எழுதி வச்சுக்கோங்க. அதை மட்டும் ரிவிஷன் பண்ற டைம்ல டேபிளை ஸ்கிப் பண்ணிட்டு ரிவைஸ் பண்ணுங்க. புரியுதுங்களா? நாளகானம்.
ஓகே சார்.
ஓகே
தேங்க்யூ.
ஓகே
ஓகே சார், தேங்க்யூ சார்.
தேங்க்யூ. அடுத்து டிஸ்கஷன் வேற இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் 2:30 மணிக்கு.
Hello sir, Srihari here from Bangalore.
Yeah. Srini, is it?
Srihari sir.
Srihari, yes. Srihari, tell me.
Yeah. Sir, I just wanted to know about like a recent thing which has happened in Bangalore 2 days back. Some mob riots and which disturbs the law and order. A derogatory post in FB caused that much things. Some medias are claiming like it is violating the freedom of speech or freedom of expression. So I just want to know, sir, it is restricting the liberty of the individual, or it is really violating the freedom of speech or expression?
The Supreme Court has given clarification on this, whether an incident really affects the freedom of speech and expression or reasonable restriction can be permitted, whether the expression can be stopped. It could be assessed by the intent, content and character of the content, speech. Okay, so with what intention? A person who has posted that may not be having the intention to cause violence. It's just like that casually, then it is freedom of speech and expression. But with the intention of doing violence, if he has done it, then it should be stopped. Content also, what exactly the content is saying, whether it is hurting the community, whether it is really instigating violence. Okay, if there is an open statement,
it is hurting the religious beliefs of other communities.
Okay, see, I did not go through the content, so I cannot comment. I cannot give a personal opinion. The judiciary in this case will have to assess, or police has to assess the content if it is really defamatory. Okay, and they can apply the judicial mind and decide whether it could be restricted or not.
Okay.
Just a religious comment is different, and really hurting is different. Okay, so too much of intensity, it depends upon the circumstances, right?
Yeah,
they will see the content.
I can understand. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, hi sir, this is me again. So sir, just a small doubt. So நீங்க explain பண்ணீங்க liberty, negative liberty, positive liberty எல்லாம். அதெல்லாம் அந்த லக்ஷ்மிகாந்த் புக்ல இல்லையே சார், அதுல என்ன புக்ல பார்த்து ரெஃபர் பண்ணு?
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ்ல சொல்லிட்டேன்ல, கிளாஸ் நோட்ஸ்ல கொடுக்கறதே போதும். இத வந்து அப்படியே இது பண்ணீங்கன்னா அதெல்லாம்
சரி சார்.
பொலிட்டிக்கல் தியரி புக் இருக்கு இல்லையா, 11th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் பொலிட்டிக்கல் சயின்ஸ்.
ஆமா,
அதுல கொஞ்சம் இத பத்தி லிபர்ட்டி பத்தி நான் வந்து இப்ப மல்டிபிள் புக்ஸ் ரெஃபர் பண்ணி கலெக்டிவ் ஒப்பீனியன் கொடுக்குறேன், சரிங்களா? இன்னொன்னு क्वेश्चन பேப்பர்ஸ், ப்ரீவியஸ் क्वेश्चन பேப்பர்ஸ், மெயின்ஸ், இது ப்ரிலிம்ஸ், இன்டர்வியூல கேக்குற क्वेश्चंसலாம் இருக்குங்களா, நான் 5 இன்டர்வியூஸ் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணேன், அது எல்லாமே கோச்சிங்கும் பண்ணிருக்கனால, சோ இந்த கலெக்ஷன் ஆஃப் क्वेश्चंसல இருந்து ஜெனரலா யூபிஎஸ்சி என்ன கேக்குறானோ அந்த ஏரியா மட்டும் டீல் வித் ரெஃபரன்ஸ் டு மல்டிபிள் புக்ஸ். ஸோ அதனால கிளாஸை மட்டும் வச்சுட்டு போயிடுங்க. நீங்க புக்ஸ் வேணும்னா நான் அதை சொல்றேன், பொலிட்டிக்கல் தியரி 11th NCERT படிக்கலாம், டிடி பாசு இருக்கு, சுபாஷ் காஷ்யப் இருக்கு, கிராண்ட்வில் ஆஸ்டின்னு ஒரு புக் இருக்கு, ஐவர் ஜெனிங்ஸ் புக் இருக்கு, கேசிவியர் புக் இருக்கு. இத்தனை புக்கும் படிக்கிறதுக்குள்ள நீங்க வந்து உங்களோட என்டையர் டைம் வேஸ்ட் ஆயிடும். அதனால ஸ்டிக் வித் கிளாஸ். லக்ஷ்மிகாந்த் இல்லாம நான் என்ன கிளாஸ் விஷயங்கள்லாம் வந்து பேஸ்ட் ஆன் ப்ரீவியஸ் இயர் क्वेश्चंस. ஏன்னா ஒரு பேட்டர்ன் இருக்கு இல்லையா. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இப்போ ஒரு போர்டு வருது அப்படின்னா யூபிஎஸ்சி மெம்பர்ஸ் இருக்காங்க இல்லையா, அவங்க வந்து
ஆமா.
ஒரு ரிப்பீட்டடா சேம் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் தான் கேட்பாங்க. ஏன்னா அவங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்ச ஏரியா,
ஓகே.
அவங்களுக்கு கம்ஃபர்டபுளான ஏரியா. ஸோ என்ன பண்ணுவோம்னா ஒவ்வொரு வருஷமும் அக்கார்டிங் டு த போர்டு, அக்கார்டிங் டு த எக்ஸாமினேஷன் வி சேஞ்ச் த பெடகாகி, த என்ன கண்டென்ட் என்ன டெலிவர் பண்ணுமோ அது பண்ணுவோம். ஸோ யூ ஸ்டிக் வித்.
சார் உங்களுடைய ஆப்ஷனல் வந்து பொலிட்டிக்கல் சயின்ஸா சார்?
எஸ் எஸ், பொலிட்டிக்கல் சயின்ஸ் இன்டர்நேஷனல் ரிலேஷனும் சோஷியாலஜியும்.
ஓகே சார், நீங்க தான் பொலிட்டிக்கல் சயின்ஸ் எடுப்பீங்களா சார் எங்களுக்கு ஆப்ஷனலுக்கு?
இல்ல கோவிந்த் சார் எடுப்பாரு.
அப்ப நீங்க இருக்க மாட்டீங்களா சார்?
நீங்க எங்க வேற யூ ஃப்ரம் சென்னை?
ஐ அம் ஃப்ரம் சென்னை தான் சார்.
Okay.
Sir,
So
actually, again,
email. So I teach in Bangalore. Okay, Bangalore options only I'm dealing. So for those, so I'll be handling political science for you there. So want of time.
Okay.
பண்ண முடியாது அப்படின்றனால we are dividing the work. Okay. So
okay. சரி சார், அப்ப இந்த பொலிட்டிக்கல் சயின்ஸ்லயும் இந்த தியரிஸ் எல்லாம் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்ல சார்?
அப்சல்யூட்லி ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். இதுதான் ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்.
இதுதான் பேசிக் இல்ல?
ஆமா, பொலிட்டிக்கல் சயின்ஸ் ஆப்ஷன்னா நீங்க கண்டிப்பா 11th NCERT அந்த பொலிட்டிக்கல் தியரி புக் படிக்கணும்.
ஓகே சார், சரி சார். சரி சார், அவ்வளவுதான் சார் டவுட். ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ் சார்.
ஓகே ஃபைன். Don't worry, when you write mains and all, no, I'll be there for assistance. Political science.
சென்னையில இல்ல சார், நான் உங்க நம்ம அகாடமில மீட் பண்ணலாம் சார். என்ன டவுட்னாலும் உங்களை கேட்ச் பண்ணிடுவேன் சார்.
Sir, both of us will help you, Govind sir and me.
Yes sir, thank you sir, thank you. உங்க எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன் எல்லாம் செமையா இருக்கு சார், சான்ஸே இல்ல சார்.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much sir.
Welcome. Happy. Next. Sure. Okay, thanks all. எப்போ 2:30 தானே?